Party time, people. DeAndrea Michelle is here. Uh-oh. Lonely wrist.
Wayfair presents
Whoa.
lighting.
Oh. Bad karma. Bad karma in the house, bro. You've had your web page opened all day long, bro. You're a madman, bad karma. And yeah, I am going to be at the of course I'll be at the parade, man. Of course I will be. So we have some clips in here. Look, the funny thing is I didn't know what to do for this live stream. What up, Lonely Wrist? I had no idea what to do for the live because a job canceled on me today. And they canceled on me 30 minutes before it was time to leave my house. And I was like, damn, bro, that's a fucked up way to make someone wake up early. Oh, I dropped the F-bomb too soon. Oh man, guys, I gotta stop cussing so much on these videos. I think it's hurting my my traction in the algorithm. That's why you all have to like the videos, okay? You have to like the videos because I cuss too much and it's hurting the reach here. So yeah, he canceled on me. What up, Trevor? Justin is running late. He's finishing his White Castle burgers. We don't have White Castle out here, do we? I've never seen a White Castle in LA. I've never seen one out here. In Detroit, we definitely had them, and it was one of the worst decisions I've made in my life. I will tell you that much. Oh man. But yeah, man, he was being weird about the job last night, and I kind of knew. I told Marianne, I'm like, man, this guy's being weird, man. I'm like, he's not being quick with the call times and stuff. Oh, so I'm just like scrubbing through some of this Nikon ZR footage, all casual like. This is some stuff. Yo, shout out to Lonely Wrist, Blake. He called in last week. But yeah, he bought a brand new Nikon ZR and then let me pop its cherry, so to speak. And I am gonna obviously have a dedicated review for this stuff. I'm gonna have a review. Blake followed me around with the Osmo Pocket and basically interviewed me, so that was pretty rad. And yeah, and so I'm gonna have a review. I'm gonna have a review of the camera, and all of this footage will obviously be in the review. And this live stream turned into the color grade of the footage that I have to use in the review because of you know, because the guy canceled on me this morning. And I didn't think I was going to have a live stream to do. So I didn't prepare at all. So I was like, well, we could just color grade this footage. This is all just stuff I was shooting all willy-nilly handheld in downtown LA. Very vibey. You know, I guess that's the vibe. I was still on them vibes after the short film. If you have not seen my newest long form video here on the YouTube channel, check it out. It's called Deadline. That's my newest short film. Shout out to Miguel. He was my cinematographer on that for me. And yeah, we shot it in downtown LA, actually on this same street, not on the Nikon ZR though. He shot it on my FX6. But I basically did I did at least 13 laps down this little Broadway street. Our Broadway is very small compared to New York's Broadway. I did like 13 takes up and down this street. So I guess I was still in the vibe of it when I had Blake meet me here. Because I'm like, dude, like I love this street. It's like the best street downtown. I'm gonna do some nighttime film shooting down there for the other channel at the Freeway Life. That's my street photography channel. But yeah, so anyways, obviously this is all log, right? This is just all log. Now here's the bummer part, and Blake already knows this, but I kind of lost my steam on putting this review out because a lot of my footage is gone. During the transfer, I guess it didn't happen. And it's actually a lot of clips of mine that are missing. So I was like, it kind of just messed up my momentum. This is the one I put a quick grade on just for tonight's thumbnail. And so it, you know, losing all the footage, now I have like a third of the footage, and I was like, oh, dude, I don't even want to do it anymore, you know. But then I'm like, nah, that's not cool, man. I can still do it. I got plenty of clips. As you can see, these are all mine. So I have plenty of clips, right? It's just not, I don't have all the clips, right? And so I'm like, man, I don't have all the fucking clips, bro. Look at this, John C. Riley coming to the palace. And so when I approach this, I approach this just like I would approach if I was out there with, a stills camera shooting street photography. That's how I approach this in this little, I guess, camera test. I only had 2 hours with the camera, by the way, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out the buttons. Again, you'll see all of that in the physical actual review. I mean, I didn't even know how to put the waveform on, man. I didn't know shit about the camera. I just started using it. And I for some reason, I like this shot here too. But yeah, so that's the way I approach this shit. But so just keep that in mind, this isn't like, oh my God. And also, I'm just going to put like a very basic, because you guys know, fans of this show know that I have a hue deficiency with my eyes, so I can't, I see colors wild, man. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do anything super crazy with it outside of like, you'll see what I'm gonna do with it, right? But just keep that in mind, like I am gonna be using the old trusty Juan Malara Komodo to Alexa LUT, even though I know it's technically not the same. Because Juan's a very talented guy, and he makes those LUTs specifically for specific cameras and their specific sensors. He goes all and does big tests side by side with the Alexa. Really great stuff. I have his power grade for my Sony FX6, and I still have it from the Komodo, and I even still have the old ones from the Pocket 4K days. I've been using his Sony to Alexa LUTs for a long time. Not affiliated, not sponsored. Do not know Juan. He's never talked to me. I don't know him. I don't know. I really like the LUTs, and so that's what you saw in the thumbnail, and that's what I'm going to use here again tonight. So the first thing I do is I watched this goofy guy make a YouTube channel where he was saying all the reasons, that filmmakers need to stop doing this on YouTube videos or whatever. And like one of his biggest complaints was like making a bunch of nodes. I do it because he was basically saying like people make huge nodes. People make huge node trees as a way of like flexing or something. I don't know what he was trying to say, but people do it for all sorts of different reasons. Some people just have a certain structure. Like, I usually have about this many. Like, I'll just pop them all out at once. And a lot of times this one will turn into sometimes either a parallel node or like a window node with an outside node. There's a lot more nodes that happen between like 4 and 5. So generally, it just goes wild. But I always lay out like 8 right away because I kind of know the order of my stuff, Oh yeah, by the way, guys, the phones are open. Yeah, so that's someone on Facebook Messenger place. But the lines are open if you want to call in, and especially if you see the colors getting wonky. So this is how it goes with me, right? I don't put in a color space transform or nothing like that. Because I don't have to. It's like you can see that I'd already identified it as red. What you could do, if you wanted to be super safe about this, you can put this on like a color managed timeline, and then you could basically like, you could bypass the grade. Actually, we should do that now that they have a new Resolve. I think I am going to do this real quick, guys. I'm going to do a color managed timeline. But then what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to bypass the thing every time, right? So if I come here, because it looks pretty gnarly like that, right? So I say bypass the color management. Yeah, so then it probably wouldn't be a point in that though, would there? No, I guess there wouldn't be a point in that at all. I was just thinking of like, why do I need to keep it all? Well, maybe I would want to keep the whole timeline color managed, because what if this turns into the same timeline that I also have to do like the review on, right? So then I'll have all this like DJI Osmo Pocket 3 footage here, these clips. So these are clips of me, obviously, we want all this stuff in the review. And then I'm also going to have footage on here. There's going to be a talking head that's going to have to accompany this. So, that's like the A7C2 footage. So that's what I mean. Like, I could just do like a color managed timeline, or not really though. I really hate that. Like, I'm just not into that. I'm not into, why am I even doing this? See, this is why I hesitated doing this stream like this. Cause it's like, I'm not like a real color gradist, but I do kind of have a way that I like to do things. And obviously I've been doing it long enough, but, you see, this is what happens when you watch videos too. I just watched, because Resolve just put out a bunch of updates, right? So they have all these new updates. But yeah, I'm basically going back to what I usually do. Okay, I'm doing Davinci wide gamut intermediate and then a Rec 709 scene. This is like the biggest update. Okay, with Mac people. Mac people will appreciate this. No one else will care. But Mac, we used to always have to have our output color space as gamma 2.4, but now apparently they finally fixed this issue. It was like a contrast issue in the export. So you always had to be like exporting for gamma 2.4. You don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just leave this as Rec 709 scene. So that's nice, right? That's nice. Which basically what this means is now when you export the final video, you don't have to tag it 709A anymore because now Resolve has fixed that. Anyways, so see, I was getting hung up on that, and then I was going to be like, oh, maybe I should do this when color managed. But no, I don't want to really do color managed. But then what happened was I go, well, maybe I do want to do it color managed because then I don't have to put the color space transform on the dumb thing, right? So that's what happens in my brain, because if you do it color managed, there's no reason to have to do the CST. Anyways, I don't know. I probably lost a bunch of you there, but anyways. Yo, bro, there's a $200 job waiting for you. It's meant to be. Actually, it was 500. But I mean, yeah, it was just one of those things where you show up at the camera. That's literally all it was. I like just camera, only camera. And yeah, $500. Of course I'm going to go, of course, you guys know me. I get excited for that. And, but no, it fell through. So that's a bummer. How's the ZR in low light? Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, I think you're seeing it, right? Like this is, well, no, you're not because I haven't put anything on it yet. So check this out. These dogs were, now this is the thing. We had the Nikon Nikkor 50mm 1.4, I guess the newest one, right? See, I always do this, just habit. I just lay out 8 right away, the nodes I'm talking about. Anyways, what I want to do is just throw this. I don't want to mess with the color management. I'm going to show you what I do. I still have these old Komodo to Alexa LUTs, man. You got to use the post-production ones though. And do we need the wide dynamic range? Maybe so. Yeah, so we'll start with that. Then what I always do is I throw the freaking, I throw the dehancer on, right? So I throw this on, but I turn everything off. The only things I use out of dehancer is the grain because the grain is so good. I've recently just started doing this where I'm like, well, I kind of only want to use the grain. and of course the vignette, just because it's like a super easy way to make vignette really quick. But I just love the grain out of it. But you got to be careful. Like 250 can be a little crazy. Like, I don't know, obviously, yeah. So the dogs are completely out of focus. I was like really pulling my own focus, but then there were moments where the lens would engage. And so something here for a split second, we have a little something in focus other than like jumping to the back. For this, actually, I was trying to see how good the autofocus would be for the animals in regards to like, my experience of seeing how good Sony's autofocus is with animals and birds and stuff. Oh my God, even the little, my little RX107 pocket camera, dude, I tracked this hawk and it missed it like 2 frames, but it was pretty, I'm just saying the Sonys are insane. The Sonys are insane. And the Nikon, and I understand, like we just took it out of the box. So I'm sure if you mapped it a certain way, you probably have to turn on the animal function. That is how the Sony cameras are too. And I think Canon cameras are like you have to tell it, if you want it to, do animals or birds or humans or trains or whatever, right? Like you kind of have to, you got to tell the AI what to look out for. So, I'm sure it was on humans, right? Is what I'm trying to get to anyways. But yeah, man. So let me see. I'm trying to remember like the flow that I did. I started a flow for the, I didn't mind what happened with the thumbnail. I mean, this is the thumbnail one, it's not bad. Oh, it's going to lag like crazy, especially with the live stream. That's a bummer. It's going to be like super slow-mo. Look how sketchy it is. Yeah, so you're watching it in super slow-mo there. That's just because of I got everything on here. You can kind of see what's going on. And yeah, dude, I didn't even bother with the color space transform. So that's probably not a great idea, right? But the thing is like, I was making the adjustments in the clip. That's what it was. So within the clip, so of course you want to engage your raw controls, right? And this is like 101 here. But where'd my clip go now? Damn, which one was I on, guys? It was that John C. Reilly one, wasn't it? Damn, I thought it was the John C. Reilly. I guess I better just work down the line and then I won't get lost. Oh, it was literally the next one. No, I thought it was, oh, it was this one. It was the dog one there. Yeah, so, you know what might make things a little easier, but I don't want to do that either because I got all these windows built in here because I made a window on this guy. I was going to say I could just like copy and paste this grade just for the sake of this live. Maybe I will do that and then I won't be walking in circles all over the place. Look, though, it was much better in the other one. Yeah, you see that? Look at this one. You know what it is? It's because of this shit, man. I guess I'll put this back on then. It looks better with this, huh? Yes, bro. And then you know what I did? I bypassed the color management. So it's because of the timeline. The timeline looks better this way. That makes sense because if I turn it off, then I'd have to do the color space transform. And I guess I don't really want to do that, right? So yeah, this is the way to go. Because that's why it looked super like low con. Now the nice contrast came back. You guys tell me, is that too much contrast? Shit. Sometimes I can't see that shit, dude. You think we can meet up tomorrow? I doubt it, dude. I'm gonna be working, bro. Like, I'm gonna be shooting my face off, man. If you see me, you see me, bro. Yell out dog times, man. I'm gonna be working, though. Nikon transfer is trash, bro. Nikon transfer is trash. Oh, yeah, so Blake was saying that's why all my clips are missing because of Nikon transfer. I don't have a card reader for those cards that it takes, like the CFast Bs. No, this is fucked. What is going on here, man? What did I do wrong with this thing? Oh, wait. I forgot to reset these. Let me reset these. I got nervous for a minute. This is all jacked for the main one. Damn. It must be because of this. Wait, let me undo. I gotta watch these ISO levels, man. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, it's because this was shot at 400. Yeah, see, I gotta be careful, man. Okay, this was shot at 400. All right, let's get rid of these clips real quick. Let me drop these down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I just want 8 here. I'll pull this down a little bit. Okay, let's do this. Let me do this real quick. Now that I have it set back on, hopefully this shot will look a little better. And I'm gonna go to post-production, wide dynamic range. Oof, 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 oof. My goodness, bro. Let me turn all this off. Hold on. Maybe, should I leave the grain? I just like the grain, man. And then the vignette. But you know what, guys? I don't want it to look super gnarly, so I'm going to drop the grain like it comes out of the box at, what does the grain come at? And the only reason why is because I don't like the grain in normal Resolve. The grain in Dehancer looks so much better, bro. 60, yeah, so I sometimes do, this is a clean one, 65 mil ISO 50. It's clean, you know? Dude, this color is nuts, though. You want to know why, though? Because I changed it. What did I change it to? I got to remember this clip. I feel like, now you guys might be like, dude, that's crazy. But I feel like the colors of this one is nice, right? I feel like this is nice, dude. Look, I like the reflection right here. This feels nice to me, right? But again, I see colors a little differently. So you'd have to tell me if it's not cool looking. But to me, and when I say cool looking, I mean like rad. Not like cool in temperature, right? But you'll notice I changed it to 3520. So I'm going to change this one to 3520 as well. Oof, too crazy. Bro, this is like neon. What is that movie called? Let me try to find a good one here. Bro, it's going to be gnarly with all these different colors, huh? I don't know what'll make sense here. It's getting too blue. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck, man? Oh no, dude. This one is jacked. There's just too many colors, man. Let me see the vector scope. Oh, actually, that's not too bad, though. See, that way is getting gnarly. This way is getting a little warmer. I think it makes sense, like something right in here, maybe? Ooh, I feel like something right there. That still looks crazy, though. We're going to have to... I think we got to bring the contrast down. Something ain't quite right here. Let me bring this contrast down to a little. I'm gonna take I'm gonna steal Colin Kelly's trick. What does he say? Put your pivot at 336. Even though there's no people in this. I don't know. That's what he says. Oh, no, 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 no. All right, let me jump over here. Let me turn my waveform on. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I put it up in here. That's not bad though, really. Let me jump to HDR mode now. Let me pull this down. Look at, if you push it out, no, 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 no. It's gotta, oh, it's because of the dehancer vignette. The dehancer vignette's pretty gnarly, but wait till you see what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna throw the LensNode on here and make it really gnarly. I don't think I want to push those shadows though. I'm gonna pull those highlights way to crap down, boy. Pull them. Oh, that's probably way too much. Hold up. Let me do this. I'm gonna put these on like that. I'm gonna do this in the raw tab. Oh no. Where's the highlight thing? Oh no. Why does the raw tab look like this? Why do I only get like 2-3 options in the raw tab? Highlight roll off. It's locked off, eh? Now why would the highlight roll off be locked off, guys? Why won't they let me access that? What the hell, dude? I gotta jump down in the chat. You grade like the real way. I'm so lazy about it. Oh. Yo, looks good, mate. What's up, Stuart Monroe in the house? What up, image by Michael? Let's see. We lost the focus assist when turning on the preview LUT. Known glitch. Only grading nerds say stuff like CST. Can we talk about that DJI Osmo Tilta shoulder rig thing on IG? WTF, LOL. You're saying vibe almost as much as Caleb Pike mentioned Cineback in each of his videos. Vibe? I did? I didn't know I said it that many times. Yo, he's gonna wear his dog time shirt tomorrow. Hell yeah, dude, represent. What are you saying though about the DJI Osmo Tilta shoulder rig? Hold up. I'm gonna look that up in a minute though, but I do want to throw LensNode on here real quick. Oof, it got wild. Did you see that? Hold up, let me turn it off. Whoa, look at that. Hold up, let me make it big screen. That's without. That's with. Dude, that's rad actually. But that one's a little heavy. So this is LensNode, man. LensNode is nuts. So first of all, you can change it to the correct color space, and we got log. So that makes it a little better right there. But then I love the Cook one. The Cook ones are nice and mellow, but with the S4s. See how mellow and nice the S4s are? Put it on like a 32. But man, we've got to fix them colors, boy. See how it like bows it out? It even bokehs it. Watch these areas. Watch over here far right. Watch over here far left. Look, it bokehs it out. It blurs it all out. It pushes it out like that crazy kind of distortion that the Cooks have. That's nuts, man. I think it kind of even like cools it off a little bit. Or warms it off, however you say it. That's not bad. But the colors in this shot are insane, dude. It's like a rainbow. Why does it look like that, bro? Dude, this is also why I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't put out that review, man. They're gonna be like, dude. But I mean, it's low light. Here, let's turn the grain off, dude. Turn the grain off. Yeah. It's clean. That's no noise reduction. Ooh, is it too clean? Good God. Look at it. Is it? Now look, this is another thing. It's now keep in mind, this is gonna lag like crazy. Okay, I have LensNode turned on. I have dehancer with the grain. Oh no, I turned that off. So it's literally just a LensNode. Yeah, but LensNode is pretty heavy on your system. Well, I'm also live streaming, so bear that in mind. But this the flickering. Look at the flicker, dude. It's crazy. It's so crazy how much it flickers. And we turned it. We even turned that function on because you'll see in the actual review video, we go through the menus. We definitely turned anti-flicker mode on, and I think you'd have to make some bigger adjustments on that camera. And see, this has been a blessing with I I mean, I haven't seen lights flicker like that probably since the Pocket 4K days. Seriously, because I'm so used to like Sony's anti-flicker that theirs is really good. You can fine tune it even, you know. And maybe you can do it with the Nikon. Look, we only had the camera for 2 hours, right? So I don't know. Maybe you can fine tune the anti-flicker, but that is wild, dude. I mean, I ain't seen a camera do it like that in a long time. That's why I went up to be like, yo, look at that. This is all handheld, you know, I'm just fucking walking around the city, dude. But, yeah, there's definitely gonna have to be some things done to this shot for sure. We're gonna have to put a little window down here, okay? This window is gonna be what they call a graduated, what is it? Graduated window. It's gonna be called what? Let's see. Where is it now? I would throw one of these things on. What do they call this one anyways? Gradient. That's the word I was looking for. Gradual. It's a gradient, you know, like the good old days. Let's see. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring down the global maybe. Yes. Yes. Increase shadows. Are you guys having fun yet? Are you guys having a blast yet or what? Okay, we will look up the thing. I think that looks better with the graduated thing. You like it, you love it, you want some more of it. Yeah, man. This one I'm excited for. Dude, Drive vibes all the way. That's all it is, man. It's really like, dude, you have to stop watching Drive, you know? You just have to, like, stop watching Drive. And I'm just obsessed with it so much where I'm like, dude, I can't stop watching it or thinking about it. I'll pull up scenes from it and just watch scenes from it. Like, I'm obsessed with that movie, dude. Like, like I love that movie. I love Drive so much. Now keep in mind, these don't have all the goofy stuff I did to it. So maybe that's why. Maybe I made it super insane. Or maybe there literally is a rainbow of light hitting this building. I'm not too sure. This one didn't, I mean, this one turned out kind of nice. But see, I have the grain on this. The grain makes a big difference. And the Davinci grain is super, super nice. I love this shot too. Anyways, let's see. Okay, dude, we'll look up the DJI thing. Change the color manager for Davinci. You'll getting again the raw management. Okay, what? Change the color manager for Davinci. FBI, what are you saying to me? I'll get more than this. I will get highlight roll off back if I turn off color management. Please confirm. It's clean in ISO 6400. We were shooting in 3200, not knowing the native ISO was 6400. We also didn't even figure out how to get it into shutter angle till like after this. Yeah, but so this, okay, so just for FYI, this is 3200, but that crazy dog one, that was 400, bro. I shot this at ISO 400. I didn't change that to 400. It originally was 400. That's why when I put the grab of the first shot onto that one, it lifted it all crazy because this was not shot at 3200. So there was a point where I started dropping down. This one was 3200. Bummer, dude. This one is 400. See, the dogs I did at 400. For some reason, I did the dogs. This is very high, 32. But see, that's how I was shooting at the beginning. All my good clips that I shot at 400 are literally missing. And it's a bummer too, because like you see what I'm filming, you hear the camera, you hear it go off, bing, and you hear me talking about what I'm filming, and I don't have any of those clips. So that is like the shittiest part. That's kind of what killed my momentum on the review. And this was more of like an autofocus test, and as you can see, not great. Let's blow this up here. So obviously 60 frames, but yeah, like you'll notice like it didn't want to go to this guy. Now, granted, it could be because I had the camera rated probably too high here, you know? Maybe that was fucking it up. You know, like the fact that his head's not blown though. That's the crazy part. Like he is not blown there, but it is definitely too hot, you know? I mean, everything's too hot, right? Everything's too hot here. And simply as like, yeah, like the shots that I was shooting out the gate at that dark. Obviously, I probably wouldn't put that for that, but I feel like this is, but look, you got all that back. And I shot that so hot. Look at the background now. Look at the background now. You couldn't even tell how hot I had that. You couldn't even tell how hot I had that. Oh my God. Look, it was at 32 hundo, bro. Look what I shot it at. Again, because I was just fucking around with all different ISOs. And sadly, we don't have too many clips of when I was shooting at 400. But I wouldn't have shot it at this anyways. I think the 640 was kind of the sweet spot. 640, very nice. The only way I like to do is like this, and then I can kind of see. I mean, he's low, but I think it would be low. It makes sense to be low. You know, really, like, what's he supposed to be up there? But that's like, yeah, I don't really want him up there, man. You know? It's not that kind of show, man. I don't know, maybe it is, and then I can always bring it down. But it looks a little, flat to me. So I guess you could start there, and then you could jump over here and fuck around with this a little bit. Just bring some of that global down. Then I'll blow this up. Now it's looking a little better. Probably want to add some contrast. See, the autofocus is wild, though. It's just, again, whoa. What did it do there? Why did it jump back? Did I have... Weird. It turned itself... Oh, it started super hot. God damn, that shot started super... I must have... Oh, this was a thing, too. So out of the box, the shutter angle is on the back of the camera. Like, you know, like what would make sense for a photo camera. But when you're in cine mode, for some reason, and I know you can change this, but literally we just got the camera out of the box, so didn't have time to change it, didn't even think to change it. But I think for a camera that is being touted as a cinema camera, not only that, but a red cinema camera, okay? To have something called a cinema camera, it comes out of the box and it's in cine mode, because they have a switch on the camera that you can jump between stills and cine, right? So they have a mode where you can jump to cine mode. And then to have that mode out of the box is mapped that the shutter angle is right where your thumb goes. Horrible choice, boys. Horrible choice. And girls, horrible choice. Because what happens is I constantly was hitting that, changing my shutter and not realizing it. Because it's right where I fucking hold the camera. And I know you can change it and shit, but it's like... why though? Why would it even come out of the box like that? Like who's shooting cinema is going to need to change their shutter like that? Fucking no one. You know what I mean? like no one, right? You're not shooting your cinema like you're shooting your goddamn street photography, right? So it doesn't make sense that shutter wheel is mapped to that out of the box. Like it shouldn't be there. Like something else should be there. I don't know, like ISO or something, you know, anything, right? Like something that if it gets bumped, it's not the end of the world. But hitting the shutter is like a fucking bummer. Most people would say, well, wouldn't bumping ISO suck too? Yeah, it would suck. But since we are shooting raw, it's something that, look, I can go back and fucking make better later like I just did. You know what I'm saying? So if that was an ISO switch, it wouldn't have bumped like that. Although I shot it too high, right? We know that. We've established that. I was shooting a certain amount of clips at different ISOs on purpose because I was doing a fucking camera test. You know what I'm saying? But 640, you drop it down here, and it's looking pretty good. Maybe a little under. Maybe a little under. Let's raise it a little bit. Maybe I will. I don't know. I think I was fucking with the global too, so I got off track. Anyways. Whoopsies. Let's get back on here. Not being a snob, just elitist. Wait, what happened? Yo, wait, what happened? Hold on, guys. I thought you controlled the flicker by making slight changes to the shutter angle. Yeah, it's true, but we couldn't figure out how to make it shutter angle. I couldn't figure out how to make the camera shutter angle. Again, another flaw of like something that's called a cinema camera out of the box. It's in cine mode, and yet I can't change my shutter angle. So that wheel that's behind your fucking thumb is not changing shutter angle, it's changing shutter speed, which I know is the same thing, but it's like a shutter speed is not as fine-tuned as a real shutter angle when we're talking about controlling the flickering of a light, right? So like that was a problem too. Like it doesn't come out of the box with shutter angle and it's in cine mode. I don't know, it's like those little like nitpicks that I had about it where I'm like, I mean, something that's a cinema camera, like, because think about like the Sigma FP, if any of you guys ever had the Sigma FP. When it's in cine mode, the whole camera literally turns into cine mode. Like there is no more shutter speed at all. It automatically goes into shutter angle. Like that's the best part about that camera. Like cine mode is truly actually cine mode and stills mode is truly stills mode on the FP. The Nikon ZR is not like that, not out of the box anyways, right? And I just think that doesn't make sense to me, you know? Like it's like, well, if you're going to sell it as a cinema camera, everyone's calling it a Nikon Red, and everyone knows Red is a cinema camera. Why out of the box is it like loaded with shutter angle in cine mode? Like, it's just little things like that kind of annoy me a little bit, where it's like, it's just like, again, because out of the box, I couldn't use it the way I could use a real Red camera out of the box. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you buy the Komodo, you take it out of the box, it already has everything in cine mode because it is an actual cinema camera, right? This camera, sure, cinema camera, but out of the box, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, out of the box, there was not even a fucking waveform that I could have access to. Out of the box, it was shutter speed when it was in cine mode, right? So it's like, oh my God, you know, it's little things like that. And again, I know you can change all of that. Some people are like, God damn, he's so anal. But guys, it's just a reality of it. It's like, if you take it out of the box, expecting it to be a way that you think it should be, right? This is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it's like, sure, it's a cinema camera after you like change everything, right? like after you have to remap the buttons and fucking watch 10 YouTube videos explaining to you how to fucking do it or whatever, you know, it's like, come on, this is my thing. And this kind of goes back to my argument of like trying to make a hybrid camera is kind of the like a bad idea. Honestly, maybe the worst idea, right? Because this is one of the issues. It's like out of the box, you have to contribute to the menu layout in order to turn it into a cinema camera. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to fucking do that. I want to pick up the tool and I want to just use it, you know, which is what I did on this evening where Blake, you know, brought me the camera so generously for me to do that. But I didn't, someone like me, who only has 2 hours with the camera is not gonna fucking sit down and go, well, now let me change all these buttons. You know, like, no, like, dude, you're gonna lose so much fucking time doing that. Also, I don't know how to do it because the menus are just as convoluted as a Sony menu, right? So I'd have to watch like at least 1 or 2 YouTube videos, right? That shit takes time. I only got 2 hours. I don't want to be taking time to turn the camera into a cinema camera. It should just come out of the box as every way I expect every other cinema camera to be. Meaning it should have shutter angle, right? Like at least fucking that. It should show me a waveform instead of a goddamn histogram, right? Don't make me go in there and swap it. Like, no, come on, right? Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, this should be very basic shit, right? And so this is why they don't allow me to review these things on like a paid level or a sponsored level, because everyone in their, you know, everyone knows I'm unhinged. Everyone knows that, no, I'm going to say what I want to say, right? And so like, guys, check this out too. Fucking Small Rig just emailed me recently. Here we go. Here goes some hot tea here. Small Rig emailed me recently and they wanted me to check out the Potato Jet tripod. Dude, I was just so honest with them. Plus two, keep in mind, I know of certain YouTubers that have told me, you know, that let's just say that there are people that have been paid pretty nicely to review the Potato Jet tripod, right? Let's just say that, right? So I know that going in, right? But I also know I'm a little nobody. Who cares about Justin Phillips? What is it, like 46,000 subs, right? Who cares, right? That doesn't shake a stick at any of like the real influence. I'm not technically an influencer. I don't play the influencer game. Anyways, they sent me the email. They want me to check out the Potato Jet tripod. I say, you know what? I have zero interest in the Potato Jet tripod. I go, but for you... I go, for you, I will review the tripod, but I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not going to allow any previewing of it. I'm going to do the review the way I do reviews. I'm going to be honest, but I am going to be fair. And yeah, no contracts. And yeah, you can give me $500. Crickets. Crickets. They wouldn't even do it for $500. Oh shit! But the only reason why I told, well, one, because I didn't want to fucking do it, but at least I was honest with them. Like, I was like, yo, I don't want to review. I have zero interest. I literally said that I have zero interest in the Potato Jet Small Rig tripod, which I do. Like, why the fuck do I care about a fucking tripod? Like, I just don't. I don't care about it, right? And that's the difference between me and a lot of YouTubers. First of all, right? They'll be like, everyone to jump on that, you know, if they're as small as mine, right? And that's the thing. There are the brands out there. They prey on the small channels like mine, right? And in the beginning, it's exciting, right? You guys seen here. I used to review fucking the dumbest shit, like everything, right? I remember in the beginning, I think like when I had like maybe 1,000 subs, I even reviewed a fucking cold shoe adapter. Literally, dude, like I did that dumb shit. And I look back on that and now it's just funny to me because it's like, why did I do that? But like, you're excited in the beginning because you're like, ooh, I'm building a YouTube channel. This would be fun. And then it's like, no, I don't want to. First of all, I never wanted to do that, right? And I think that is the big thing between the whole argument that I started last year or whenever it was, maybe 2 years ago now at this point, the whole argument, right? Maybe I started that because I was viewing, like, that's what I was calling a YouTuber, like someone that literally gets on YouTube to join an alliance with the brands, and they're fine with doing it. That's what they're doing. But I should have like been a little bit more eloquent or articulate with like the meaning behind, like, that's what I mean by YouTuber. Sure, I'm a YouTuber too, but I'm not like playing the game. That's it's a little different, right? Like I'm totally more vloggy style, but I didn't start like that, right? I did kind of start out kind of doing the reviews, but certainly not doing it their way. I don't think the only contract I've signed is like with Skillshare, where it's like an actual like sponsored ad. That's the only time I signed contract, but that's not like a review. That has nothing to do even with us, right? It's just like, here's a little sponsored ad from Skillshare. Everybody fucking does that shit, right? That's not exactly the same thing, not to me, right? Because I'm not like peddling Skillshare the whole video. It's literally just an ad within the video. You know what I mean? Like, the peddling of the gear is different. I think you guys understand. I think you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know how the hell that got started anyways. I don't even know how we got down that sick rabbit hole we were getting down. Oh, I know, just complaining about the way the Nikon ZR is made. Oh, the small rig tripod. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yo, Jason DeHoos. Yo, just hopped in late to the party, but shout out again on your recent short, brother. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, my man. The director of Drive also has the same like color perception as you, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, I was saying about how I'm obsessed with Drive, the movie, like seriously obsessed with it. And yeah, the director of Drive also has, and he also directed Only God Forgives. Yeah, he has a hue deficiency as well. I don't know if it's the same colorblind though. But maybe that's why I'm attracted. Like, but here's the thing though, like, Thomas Newton Siegel, he is one of my favorite cinematographers. Thomas Newton Siegel is his cinematographer, specifically on Drive. And he's an amazing cinematographer. He shot Cherry. Oh my God, guys, I love Cherry. The movie Cherry is so wild. But I don't think I don't think the DP is colorblind, but I think they talk about it in the articles. I've read all the articles like in the ASC and everything about it. And I think in the article that the director, Nicholas Refn is his name. Nicholas Refn is the director of Drive. I think he had to teach Thomas Newton Siegel, the DP, he had to kind of teach him how he was seeing the colors. And I thought, wow, that was a super smart thing to do. I wish I could do that. But that sounds horrible. Like it would be like, so like, it would take forever, right? Like that would be like an impossible hill to climb, I feel like. As someone who comes from the film camera background, it's not grain, it's noise. I know, but you know, they're doing the film emulation thing. Not being a snob, just elitist. Hold on. I should have brought a hard drive, rookie ass move. No, I should have, well, I don't have a card reader. That was my first fault. I didn't bring a card reader. I lost some footage on this. Shadows of Smoke. What year is the Drive movie? There's more than one Drive movie. Let me show you guys. We're gonna pause real quick. I gotta show you Drive now. Whoa. Oh no. Did I just leave the chat? Hold on, guys. I gotta get back into the chat. Hold on. I don't want the chat to go away, but I got logged out of the chat. Hold up. I gotta go back now. Hold on, boys and girls. Let me get back in here.
There are 4 easy ways to vote.
Let me get back in here now. Hold on now. What's the latest movie we saw? What was the latest movie we saw? Smashing Machine. Oh, we saw something after that though. I forget what it was. Okay, you wanted me to pull this up, right? I forget what year it came out, but it is hands down in my top 5. 2011. Damn, 2011. I'm old as balls, boys. I'm old as balls. Look at the budget on this thing. 15 million, that ain't shit. There he is, Nicholas Winding Refn. I knew he had a crazy middle name. Nicholas Winding Refn. Yeah, dude, he's wild. He always apparently will wear a blanket like around him. He'll wear a blanket around him like a dress. And he says it makes, he's like, he must be a Buddhist or something, because he says it makes his energy and his warmth or something. I forget what he says about it, but it's nuts. Let me see if I can find it. The dude is wild, man. Nicholas Winding Refn ASC article. See if I can find it. It's a crazy yeah, let me see. Drive, Road Warriors. Yeah, he did Only God Forgives too. Oh my god, guys, this movie is like so good, dude. I love this movie so much, man. It's just nuts. I think I love it because it's like it was like this, you know, I know this is old at this time. This is 2011, but it really was like the next generation Fight Club movie almost. You know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. Oh yeah, I was watching a thing saying like what do they call the guys like there's a name for the dudes that are like me that that love those movies. It's a negatory thing though. It's not like a good thing. What do they call them? Edgelords. Yeah, yeah. I think they said like if you like Fight Club and like this movie like Drive, they say like you're an edgelord or something. But then like when I looked up like who edgelords are, I was like, no way, dude. Like I'm not like edgelords. It was people not like me. Let's just say that. And I was like, dude, that's not cool at all. But I don't know. I think there can be different groups of people that like the same kind of movies, you know. So there's the man. There's Thomas Newton Siegel. He's the DP right there. Okay. And then I think didn't Louis Potts like try to recreate this elevator scene? I think he did, or he did something that inspired it or some shit. I did see that. I don't know. Maybe he didn't say that. Maybe it just reminded me of the elevator scene in Drive. I think he did say that it influenced it though. Dang, where's the picture of the direct? Okay, he's not wearing it. No, I think he is wearing it. You can just see it. It's like literally wrapped around his waist. Yeah, I think this is the article where they show it, dude. Look at this shot though. Come on now. That's a behind the scenes. Man, that's killer though, bro. Oh, it's not in here, is it? Nah. This must be a different article. Oh, dang. Anyways, 2011, amazing film. Yeah. Influenced everything probably. All right, let me see what's going on here. Damn, we got way too far behind here. Holy shit, I'm never gonna get caught up. Edgelords like cool movies. I know. I don't know, dude. I watch some crazy YouTube videos sometimes, dude. I'll get down the craziest YouTube rabbit hole. You guys don't even want to see my For You YouTube page. It has nothing to do with filmmaking. How's the Nikon ZR? Hey man, I know. We got sidetracked. I apologize. Look, I'm gonna have the full dedicated review, I swear. I'll get past this rainbow footage though. Look, I want to jump to that so this is all shot on it, obviously. I want to check this one out though. I bet you this one's cool. Hold up, let me check this one out real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's see. Okay, I won't put noise on this one. Let's call it. I know, I'm just slapping a LUT on it, guys. I'm wild, but I am gonna change the thing. So it's gonna look nuts at first. It's gonna look crazy real quick. It's gonna look a little crazy. Or does it? Do you guys like it double stacked? Sometimes we'll do that, you know, double stack some LUTs, man. Let's bypass. Yeah. So all it does is make it a little contrastier. Should I turn it back on? I don't know. I don't mind it getting like that. Isn't that technically stacked though? I think that means that, oh my God, I shot this at 3200 too. Oh, I hate this color though, dude. We got to change it, bro. Now, to me, I'll show you guys. To me, it looks so good at like 36, 35. That looks good. I like the way it looks like that. Let me fast forward a little bit. A guy walks down. Here he comes. Get in there, boy. Get in that light, boy. Get in that light right there. Yeah, there he is. Do you see him? There he is. You gotta have it full screen. You gotta have it full screen to appreciate it. Oh man, that's how you know when you're like a bad image maker. You're like, you gotta watch it full screen to truly appreciate it. I always think that's funny when I tell people that. I'm like, oh God. Because, you know, it shouldn't matter the size. You know, it should be a good frame regardless of how big it is. Maybe that's only funny to me. Anyways. But, you know, wild colors, bro. That's some wild shit, dude. Okay, where's the clip, though? I think I have it... Isn't that true? I think I have it double stacked, guys. Because, see, that way it's not like... But, here it's not double stacked, right? So I was, like, double stacking the look, but I don't know. Honestly, man, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Well, all it's doing is, like, adding all the extra contrast and stuff, you know? I think it's smarter if you turn it off and then, like, you control that yourself. You know, I'm not going to get oh shit. Oh boy, I let it go too much. But you see what has to happen? So I shot this at 32. Honestly, for the grade, I think I might just keep it at 32 and then I'm just going to like do this stuff myself. See, my wheels are still in storage. I got to get my wheels out. I threw my color wheels in storage and now I need them for tonight, man. See? I need them for tonight. Cause then I could blow it up and I could be grading it for real time with the wheels, man, but I didn't prepare. I didn't go get them, dude. And the only reason I have them like in storage is because like I stopped using them. But I knew that I didn't want to get rid of them. But and the reason why I don't need them is because my viewing screen is the MacBook because it's the Retina. So I use that as my viewing screen. And I don't really like, so what I'm saying is I can still grade without the wheels while I'm watching the screen. To me, that's the only advantage of the wheels. And the way my brain works, I'm like, the only advantage to the wheels is if like you need to watch it full screen while you're making adjustments. But like if you have a double setup, I don't really need but also like I'm not a pro color gradist. Like obviously it makes sense. Like you would, you know, your fingers are going to get very, very sore if you're like a pro color gradist and you don't have the wheels, but you don't really need them. I'm just like adjusting the global right here. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's nice, dude. Look, dude, I think the Nikon is nice, dude. Look, I do. I think the ZR is a surprisingly badass camera. You guys heard it first. Hey, you do the live, you get the sneak peek, bro. Yeah, I do. I think it's badass, you know? Would I swap it for the FX6? Hell no. But look, if I was starting out, hell yeah, I'd be buying this before anything else, especially because of the price, right? It's because of the price. It's just crazy to me that, look, let's go back to it. If for all of you that just got here, this shot was the wildest to me, right? So what did I shoot this at, guys? Do you remember? Here, let me disengage this one. Do you guys remember what I shot this at? Why does it jump like that? I hate that. Okay, yeah, everything's off, right? And then I think I shot it at 3200. This is what it was shot at. Now, granted, it still wasn't clipping, right? Because I did have at least the histogram. So I was making sure that it wasn't like, you know, all the way to the right? But it's still like, look back there. Like he's got a goddamn halo almost, right? Like it's borderline not good, right? And now look, we brought it all the way down to what I have it at, like 800. So much detail back in that. Like this is like amazing to me to retain all those highlights when looking at it to the extent that it was completely like, I mean, it wasn't gone. Here's the nice thing. It wasn't even gone, right? So it was still retaining it quite nicely. You know, it was already kind of doing a good job at that because I was already pushing it. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely wasn't clipped. But just to see it come back like that, it's just, and then to still have a nice little bit of something in there on him. It ain't too bad, man, honestly. It ain't too bad, to be honest with you. I love it. I thought it was a really nice, the screen is, look, you'll see the review, but I am going to be fair too, because I do have a lot of things to say about it that I think are annoying. I think I already did on here about the button layout. That was one of the most annoying things. If you think the flexibility in this image is crazy, you should shoot ProRes RAW on the S1 too. Look, this camera also shoots ProRes RAW, right? Like it does everything. It literally does everything. It also shoots ProRes RAW. Like ProRes RAW, just because it's coming out of a camera, the camera isn't making it flexible. It's because of the codec. You understand what I'm saying? Like any camera that can do ProRes RAW is you're going to have the similar experience out of all of them. The only thing the camera is changing is the colors and issues with like that with the sensor, right? It's not like it's going to be a better performance of ProRes RAW just because it's coming from a different machine. It's still ProRes RAW. I mean, that's what I believe anyways. Hell, I could be wrong about that. I really hope Nikon gives us exposure tools, false color, things like that. You might need to run a monitor until then. I wouldn't though. There's still a waveform. You just have to go in the menus and turn it on for some crazy reason. It should just come on out of the box, but they do have the waveform. So to me, that's enough because I shoot plenty of stuff. I just shot this past week on the Sony FX6. I didn't want to bring the small HD. It was a very tiny thing, just a little talking head last minute. I didn't want to bring the small HD. Like sometimes, oh no, I did bring it. You know what I did? I flipped it completely sideways for the client, but that I knew that I was going to do that. Otherwise, I don't bring it. But I knew because I didn't want to bring any other monitors, right? It was that kind of job. So I was like, okay, I knew like to keep my load light, one camera coffin, you know, I knew that I was just going to, you know, mount it sideways on the camera, like first AC style. So the director can look at that and that'll be hers. And I just used the little LCD. That's all I've ever done. Because not ever, I shouldn't say that, but I prefer that. And the waveform is enough for me. But also what's nice is the FX6 has this little feature where it'll blink at you and say low light, or it'll say highlight, highlight. And that lets you know, obviously, when it's getting too dark or when it's getting too bright. So that's nice to have that on the FX6 as well, because sometimes when you're running, when you're running 1,000,000 miles a minute, that's kind of what happens. You know, it's you kind of lose sight of that waveform, and then to have that little message blink at you is cool, right? I didn't see anything happening like that on the ZR. So that's what I mean. But I don't know if they have that feature. Again, that might be something that you can map in the menus. But again, it's like if it has an amazing features like that, they should just come like that out of the box. You shouldn't have to discover it or read the manual or whatever, right? Because there are cameras that are now going on 6 years old that do it out of the box, right? And I know there are cameras that cost more, but they're still being touted as cinema cameras. This is what I'm saying. As someone that's expecting a cinema camera to be a certain way, you know, so without repeating myself too much, I think you guys understand. The waveform tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying too. What's your CF Express card? Can you recommend some good card? I'm new to this. I don't know what Blake had on this, but I use, I have, if you want to support the channel, I have a thing with Chip Fancier. They're called Chip Fancier. I think there might even be a code for it. You know what to do? Go to justinfilm.com/connect. So if you go to that, this is where all of my codes are and everything. That's the website, justinfilm.com/connect. And you just scroll down. All of my affiliates are on there. But yeah, you'll see in there, I think it's called Chip Fancier or something like that. They're great. That's what I use on the FX6. Granted, those are CFast Express A cards, whereas the ZR takes CFast B cards, which again, I don't have a reader for that. That's another reason why I lost so much of my footage. Let's see here. Gives you about 1 to 20 of 6K R3D at 20 frames. Okay, yeah, so he had a pro grade Express Type B. Yeah, 1 terabyte. Yeah, he was using a 1 terabyte. And what was that giving us out of that 6K R3D? When I had it at 60 frames, I forget, maybe like a half hour or something with that 1 terabyte card. It was crazy. Yes, but Nikon's image processing is not great. S1 Mark II has same sensor, yet somehow you can over and underexpose by an extra stop on each end. This looked pretty good to me, man. Well, I don't know how many stops it was, but I mean, let's get gnarly with it. I mean, this looked crazy. Again, I captured it hot, right? I captured this hot. So what would it be? 32, it would be jump up to 64. Still not even clipping, by the way. This is still not even clipping. So that's pretty wild there at 6,400. So then what, you jump up to what, 12.8? So that's 2 stops over. Pretty gnarly. Look how neon it got. Now I know it wasn't captured at that. And I understand it would be a little different if it was captured at that. However, not much, because this is just the metadata, right? So we are seeing some of that neon though. Now we are seeing reminiscence of it. But if we drop it down to something that I was going to do it for real, where did I have that at, guys? What was it? Maybe not that low. Maybe so. Yeah, I think it would be about 1,000, maybe 1,280. Yeah. And now, yeah, the neons are gone. You know, it's still, I don't know. I think that's pretty damn good. That's a pretty good range, right? To be able to jump those 2 stops, that's wild. Because again, I captured it at this. So I technically captured it. It was already over. That's definitely at least, that's at least 1 stop over, at least. Let's see. Actually, I can just turn pixel tools on. Let's just do that. Let me put this at 3,200. I just want to see how much I actually overdid on the day. Let's see. Pixel tools, where are you? Pixel tools. Let me see here. Wait, where are my, oh no, what are they called again? DCTLs, that's what I'm looking for. And then I'll turn this on and the exposure chart. Ah, that's not what I wanted. What the heck? Wait, what is this? Exposure chart. Hey, where's all my stuff, man? Ah, here we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, see. I mean, it's over, dude. You know, like it's over. But again, not gone, right? Not clipped, right? So that's kind of what's nice, man. And what I bring it down to 1280, I was saying maybe like 1,000. So it's still like even there with our guy under a little bit, we're still sitting like 3 stops over. Yeah. I don't know. I think that was pretty impressive, man. I think it's got some range there, man. I think it does. It's pretty nice, especially from like the shadows to the back, you know, look, he's still going strong, man. Now the autofocus was struggling a little bit. And again, I think that's because I was capturing it at 32. And what was that? Like 5 stops over or something, according to the background. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 stops over in the background. I think I can't see. This is where it fucks up with me. These all look the same to me. So I can't tell you if it's 3 stops over or 5 stops over, but you guys will be able to look at it and go, yeah, that's, you know, however many stops it's over, you know, because it's pretty hot back there, you know, and that's what it was captured at. So that's what I mean. I think it is pretty dang impressive that we're able to retain that quite a bit. Maybe, I think 1,000 is pretty fair. 1280, something like that. I don't know. I would do 1,000 and then maybe build in the whatchamacallit, the global. Okay, let's see here, man. Let's see. There's some people out there that are doing like plus minus 4 stops and still able to recover the data, which seems insane. Yeah, definitely, because that's what that was. 32 was already like over, I wouldn't say 5 over, you know, because you got to factor in, well, I mean, that's what they say. I mean, they go off middle gray. So, I mean, technically that background was, I don't know. Again, I don't know what color it was, but it was definitely over. It was at least 3 stops over. We know that by looking at it. And then also we don't know how accurate that DCTL is with the pixel tools or whatever. So, you know, but I would say probably maybe 3 stops over in that background it was. And then we saw that we were able to get all that back. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I believe them. If they're pushing 4 stops, I believe them, because that's pretty wild to watch that all come back. That's not going to happen for me with the FX6. I'll say that right now. 2 issues with the FX6. Man, it would have been so rad. Why did I not bring the FX6? I should have shot those cameras side by side, bro. God damn, I missed out on an opportunity there. I should have shot the FX6 side by side with the ZR. That would have been so good, bro. But see, it's hard to do that because I would need, actually, I think I did say I wanted to do that, didn't I, Blake? Because I couldn't get a hold, because I still wanted him to film us, obviously, but I needed another camera guy because I'm shooting street, right? What am I going to do? Like sit there and film this dude with 2 cameras looking like Rambo? No, I'm not going to do that, right? So I would have needed a third guy or woman to film on the FX6, right? So I would need to be getting both shots at the same time because again, I was shooting real street style, you know. So that's, and I think I was trying to get a hold of one of my, shout out to him. I think I was trying to get a hold of people. And yeah, someone bailed on me or something. I can't fucking remember now what was going on with that. But I think I was actually trying to get someone to come help me film. And that's hard too, you know, it's hard last minute. It was all last minute. I completely forgot about it. The funny thing is it was never last minute. I don't think it was ever last minute to Blake. But for me, it was last minute because that's how I live my life. I live my life literally last minute. I didn't think about it until the day he texted me saying he was coming or whatever, and I was like, oh damn, I forgot all about that. So luckily I didn't have anything going on. Actually, I did. I was shooting something else that morning, and then I still went out there that night out to downtown. This is where I had to meet me at, because I knew like, oh, I know where I gotta go, because when I'm shooting street, like real street, like photography, this is where I go downtown. So I knew where I wanted to take the camera. That was me just scrubbing it, by the way, if you want to watch it in real time. But this is pretty gnarly, you know, this is pretty rough, you know. This is just all off the hip here, and this was really trying to rely on the autofocus, honestly. Yeah, so it jumps back to the beginning of the clip. You can see how hot it was at the beginning of the clip. and then you can see me there. So what I was doing a lot too, because he also had the brand new 51.4 Nikkor, and so I was messing around a lot with that, seeing how well it kind of took the. Look at that. I was just watching the rolling of that dice. You know, the performance of that was pretty good. I don't know what the rolling shutter is on this camera, but it is pretty good. Let's watch that again. It's not bad, right? I'm sure it looks horrible on your guys' end with the stream, with the live stream and everything. But the review video, okay, it's fine. I let the missing footage really take this steam out of my rails, or however they say it. But that kind of slowed me down. I will admit that. Like, I lost all my steam when I was missing half my clips, but I still have a lot of clips, so I can still put the review out. You know, I still have an excellent interview that Blake filmed, and that was great that he did that. I didn't even ask him to do that. He just started asking me a bunch of questions, and I think they were really cool questions. So it is more like an interview / review of the ZR, but then also for parts that don't make sense, you know, I can easily just do a talking head and kind of explain some things and stuff. But for the most part, I'm not going to go crazy with the footage, you know, I'm just not. Like, I'm literally only going to adjust like the global lift and like some contrast, just exposure and contrast things. I'm not going to mess with the colors, and I'll tell all that in the video too, obviously. You know, basically what I'm doing here, you know, just like very basic stuff. See how it's really struggling here. Like, it cannot get him that autofocus of that lens. And I think maybe at the highlight issue, which is weird because like I'm used to the Sonys, and on Sony cameras, the more light is there, like the crazy good is. But the problem is he was backlit. So I imagine even the Sonys would be a little bit in trouble, but not that bad. Because I've definitely shot in situations like that on the FX6, definitely. And I've never had it hunt that bad for a backlit subject. So it was like, it's not like the best face autofocus, but again, I'm sure it has a lot to do with the way you map it. And look, I can't fault them for that one, because all cameras, you know, you can map them. And then obviously I've had the FX6 for well over a year now, maybe a year and a half at this point. And I've obviously mapped all the autofocus, so it responds the way I want it to. So you would definitely have to do that with the ZR and their Nikkor lenses, because it's a little bit, this is not good, you know, because really too, look at the background isn't as hot as it was earlier, right? Because I was changing the shutter angle, because it's right there by my stupid thumb. But so things were getting adjusted. Maybe I was changing the ISO. I don't know. I'd have to listen to the walkie-talkie again, or the BTS of it all that Blake was filming. But I probably was adjusting the ISO on fly. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the thing is to say is, like, the autofocus to him was not so great. But the thing is, though, at the same time, it's cool that you have it, right? Because coming from the Komodo, it's like, damn, dude, an autofocus lens on something that does this kind of like R3D footage, you know, it's wild to me, right? It's just wild to me. So it's cool that you have it. It's certainly not Sony level, not out of the box anyways, you know. Next time, bro, I'll road trip it back to LA. We can do Komodo FX6 ZR battle. Yeah, dude. Rolling shutter is 9.4 milliseconds. See, that's what I say. I could tell just by watching that damn dice rolling how good it was. And this is what people say, you can't tell. That's another thing. I've seen videos. Guys are making videos about this, shaming people that, you know, complain about rolling shutter. It's like, it's okay. That's basically like admitting that you're a fucking idiot. It's like, okay, cool. You don't want to complain about rolling shutter readout. Let's all pretend that it doesn't fucking matter. When literally the dude rolled the dice, and the first thing I noticed was how good the fucking rolling shutter was. Like, remember, I'm handheld. It's handheld. Okay, I promised myself I would stop cussing so much. So I have to work on this, because now I'm getting heated up, because that video totally pissed me off, right? And it wasn't the first video to talk about that. And I do take those personally, because I talk about it so much. I've had shorts and reels get tens of thousands of views. Some of them have hundreds of thousands of views on Instagram. Some of the Instagram reels that I put out get hundreds of thousands of views on the shit I rant about. Just crazy over there on the Instagram. It's at Kid Tech, by the way, 2 Ds, KIDDTECH, Kid Tech, okay? I've had shit go crazy over there. So I do take a little personally, because I'm like, I feel like if you're a small creator making a video about trashing other filmmakers on YouTube, complaining about rolling shutter, it's like, I do take a little bit of personal dig on it, because I have more subscribers than you, I have more followers than you, and I know those videos have hit hundreds of thousands of eyeballs. So I'm like, I do take that one personally. But granted, I know the internet's very huge. So it probably maybe wasn't. There's a 50-50 chance it wasn't a personal thing, but there is a 50% chance as it was. Either way, it's not smart, man. It's not smart to be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And even fucking the CVP guys do it too. They fucking do it too. They go, it doesn't, they've said that they don't think it matters. Okay, I guess I'm the only motherfucker shooting handheld, real handheld. And maybe I am. Maybe I'm the only dummy out there shooting handheld because I love it. I love it. I'll put my elbow on a camera bag and I don't care about the shake. You guys complained about the shakes when I did Spent. Everyone complained about the shakes. And it's like, oh, that's a bonus of this ZR. I just thought of that. Look at this. We had the active stave turned on. It's good. I think it's good. I do think the active stave out of this camera is way better than the Sony's, because I've had the little Sony cameras. I have one. I have the A7C II. The A7C II has the same active stave that the A7 IV and the FX2 has, so keep that in mind. And yeah, the ZR is nice. This is all handheld, right? But this is why I say handheld. This is handheld. No fucking gimbals, man. Fuck that gimbal. Throw that gimbal in the trash, bro. Throw it in the trash. No, keep it. You are going to need it for a few long walks. Like, the only time I use a gimbal is if I'm specifically doing a following shot or a leading shot. That's the only time I will mess with gimbals. I absolutely hate gimbals. I hate them so bad. I don't know why, but I just do. There's a part of me that just hates them. I do like using them on the skateboard, though. The skateboard thing is cool. The only downside with using them on the skateboard is when briefcase mode. Sometimes it still wigs out in briefcase mode. I hate that. If you could just make it go in briefcase mode perfectly all the time, I would love it. I would shoot it all the time briefcase mode on the skateboard only, though. But again, that's why you need it. You're moving. We're moving. We're imitating a dolly. If you're not imitating a dolly move, put that goddamn gimbal down. Put it in. I should make a shirt that says that, bro. New Dog Time shirts now. On the front, real big, it's going to say, put that gimbal down now. Yes, dude. And on the back, it's going to say, Dog Times. I almost cussed, and I told myself I was going to chill out on the cussing. But it is real, man. I hate gimbals. So keep that in mind. I mean, I know this is gnarly. This is supposed to be gnarly. Look, I'm tired of people complaining about the gnarliness of my stuff. It's supposed to be, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard to do this cinematic YouTube B-roll. It's not, I'm sorry, but it's not fucking hard. If you wanted to do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. You get you a long lens, or you get a fucking gimbal, and you go out there and you do it. You do it. You keep everything backlit. You do it. You don't get, you know what I mean? But they're not doing, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's supposed to be raw. It's supposed to be real, right? I mean, you're talking to a guy that loves Gummo. Like, fuck, dude. Like, if someone tells you, like, what are some of your favorite movies? Gummo, Spun, Drive. It's like, ooh, well, Drive would get away. Everybody loves Drive. But like Gummo and Spun, people are like, ooh, those are weird movies. Yeah, dude, I like shit weird, man. Like, and so that's why I say when people start dogging on you and like their complaint is like anything about the, quote unquote art that you're creating, man, fuck those people, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and people love to shit on other people's work online, and I hate to see that too. I'm like, dude, fuck these people, man. Like, let it be weird. It's supposed to be that way. Like, they would not put it out to the world if they didn't want it to look that way, right? Because that's something you see all the time in like the Facebook user groups, is well, they'll be like, is it supposed to be like that? Is it supposed to look like, you're like, oh, why is the color like that? People ask me that all the time because I'm colorblind. Why is the color like that? Oh, sorry, I watch a M8 video and the color's really green. Is it supposed to be green? I go, I don't know, but it looked good to me. I don't know what the fuck color it is because I can't see it, but it looked cool to me. That's why I fucking put a video out about, you know what I mean? Like, and that's, I hate to bring his name up, but you know who. That's why I got so pissed when they talk shit about the color grade, because I'm like, you're attacking something to me that is so fucking dumb. And not to mention, you're a fucking influencer, dude. Why is an influencer coming into my comments talking shit about the way that my video looks? That is the most shadiest, lowball, just horrible, dick-headed shit to do, right? And that's really why I get so angry at that shit. But without, digging up that old grave. But, let it be weird. Like, I love it. I want it weird, man. Like, I'm so sick of people talking shit about it. It's like, it's supposed to be that way, motherfucker. If I didn't want you to see it, I wouldn't have fucking put it out. You know what I mean? Obviously, I thought it was cool. You don't need to walk around telling everybody that you think something isn't cool. Like that's just a dickhead thing to do. Like you might as well fucking, you know, I don't know, man. It's just like, but we see it all the time in our community specifically. I see it all the time. I could literally open up Facebook right now and I can guarantee we could scroll down and you would fucking find some assholes saying crazy shit like that. You just would, because that's the world we live in. And it's like, dude, don't be like dogging on people just because you don't think it looks the way that it should look. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you know, like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna like that's attracting too much negativity, right? But I think you all could agree. You see that all the time. I see it all the time, so I know you guys see it all the time. It's like, dude, don't be like, who cares? Like the color stuff and all that, like who cares? Like even if it is completely nuts and wacky, you know how much wacky shit I watch from like non-filmmaking YouTube channels? Like I always see it. Of course we see it, especially if it's a non-filmmaking channel. Of course you're gonna see it, right? I'm not gonna go on there and be like, hey, you know what would really help your video out? You know, it's like, come on, bro. And then like, and I feel like other like camera guys, filmmaking people, they think that they're like helping you out, right? They think like, oh, if I critique them, that's me helping them out. That's not really helping anyone out. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, like to help someone out would to actually help them out. You know, like maybe like send them a message and be like, hey, you know that video? You know, that's what like decent people do. You don't like put on a fucking billboard like, hey man, your color grade is whack. You know, and it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You know what I mean, like, and people do it all the time. People do that shit all the time. And it's like so exhausting because it's like, well, one, who the fuck? It's fucking YouTube, right? Like, I mean, that's the way my brain goes. But again, I'm not a guy on YouTube trying to like show off stuff to clients. Clearly, I'm just walking down the goddamn street with a camera. Like, I'm clearly not like, this is gonna like get me a job. You know what I mean? But that's how YouTubers think. Like, they think like, or like, I should refrain. I know I'm a YouTuber. That's how influencer YouTubers think. Like, if I show the best footage, I get all the brand deals and then I get hooked up with creator, you know. And it's like, cool if that's what you want to do, but it's like, this is cool too, you know. Like we can just walk around with the fucking camera and like be honest about it. What if we did that? I think that was like the biggest thing of why I liked Kai W so much. And he's more of like a photography guy, but that's what he's always done from the beginning. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Kaiw. He's always just like took the camera, walked around with it. I love that approach. I just think that's so rad. And Petapixel do it too, obviously, but they're not as like cool as Kai. Like they're not as like, you know, they take a much more nerdy approach to it, which is fine too, because you need that. You know, you need that. Petapixel is like Gerald Undone had a baby with Kai. You know, like that's kind of what Petapixel is. But that is like, that still too is almost like different too, because we know too that look, they're very honest, right? We don't need to fucking analyze these motherfuckers, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that either. That's a dickhead thing to do too, right? Everybody needs to get paid, right? I celebrate everyone that's getting paid. For me, I'm just not like that, and that's why, you know, I don't care either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do we care? Like, I don't care. I don't make these videos so you guys think I'm good. I make these videos so you can see like the reality of what the camera is, you know? And yeah, we're just walking around. Look at this dumb shit. Let me see. Let me throw something on this real quick here. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll be done soon. Because I know. I see. I'm tired, man. See what happens when the guy made me wake up super early and then canceled me, right? So he already ruined my day. My day was already ruined. We weren't even supposed to be doing a live stream, bro. Like, I was supposed to be working today. Oof. Wait. I keep forgetting. I gotta change the color, bro. I hate the color, dude. I hate it so much. In the box, it didn't look like this, but I am double stacking right now. I am double stacking. Sometimes it looks cool, but right now, yeah, it looks a little better when it's not double stacked. But, or did it look better? Maybe you guys like that heavy contrast. For me, I don't like the heavy contrast, man. But I am going to try to warm it up a little bit. Where was I living at? Like 35 hundo? Man, I think like 35. I don't know. That looks cool to me. 35. Now, keep in mind. Look at his face. He's so pissed. He's so pissed, bro. Let me drop this way down, though. Oof, too much, huh? Too much, eh? 16. I think I would do that. And then you already know what time it is. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to adjust the contrast myself. Colin Kelly trick. And then I'm going to pull it this way. Oof, too much. Oof, too much, bro. Ooh, yeah, just a little bit of shadows. Keep pulling that contrast down. Oof. Look at his face, dude. He is so... Or is he fucking sleeping? Is he stoned? Like, look at... I don't think his eyes are open. I thought he was giving me a dirty look, but his eyes are just like... They're just that way, bro. Or maybe he was like, yo, there's a camera. I better look cool. And then he closed his eyes. There's Blake. Yeah, dude. And then here comes this guy. Actually, this isn't too bad. I'm gonna have to fucking... But you see what I mean? Like, I didn't catch it in time. And that's me being goofy. Hey, and then I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, let me hurry up and try to catch this guy coming. And not bad though. You got the little clip. That's all you need is a little 5-second clip. Little handheld clip. Stabilization isn't bad. Dude, it's not bad at all. I like all this back here, man. I like all this back here. It says lace. Let's see. Look, I like all of this too. Look at this on the window. Damn. I like it, dude. I like it. I like the camera. If I wasn't already drank the Sony Kool-Aid, I could totally see getting one of those things. And dude, I was even thinking on it hard. I was like, man, should I? I was like, when I got home, that's how my brain goes. And I go, I could sell the A7C II because these things still sell. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how low the price is on the ZR. That's what's wild about it. That's what's most wild about it to me. Let me get back to that frame like that. That's a wild frame, though. I don't think we want to leave that frame up. I like this closed one, man. I don't know why. I like it, dude. I'm sorry, guys, for ranting so much. I shouldn't have done that. I'll be better in the future. Sometimes I get down the wrong rabbit hole. Yeah, dude, we do need to make that shirt, though. Hell yeah, Waxter. Waxter would buy one. I do want to drop that gimbal now or whatever it was. Z to Sony adapter. Ooh, Z to Sony adapter. I don't think it's the lenses. I don't think it's the lenses. I don't know. Maybe that would be a cool test though. You think using a Sony lens, Planet Frosty, do you think using a Z to Sony adapter would be faster autofocus than the native Nikon autofocus? I don't think it would be, dude. I really don't think it would be. Man, I hate gimbals also. I'd rather go handheld. If I want more stability, I'll use a saddle. Yeah, and you know what? Instead of a saddle, I just use my camera bag, dude. What's crazy is that the ZR would have been cheaper without tariffs. It's like $1,800 in Japan. If you go as a tourist, it's $1,600 cents tax free. Dude, now that, I bet you that video would go viral. What if I made a YouTube video called I went to Japan to get the ZR for $1,600? They'd be like, dude, he spent so much money to save like $500. That would be a funny video though. It'd be funny just to do it. You'd have to preface it though, like being like, look, I know this plan is ridiculous because I'm spending more than I would actually save. But it would just be a funny video to do. Plus, you'd be in Japan. Look up the MCN10. It works perfectly with the ZR. I think it will solve a ton of the ergonomic issues. Okay, what is he saying? What are the ergonomic issues though? Was I complaining about ergonomic issues? I honestly can't even remember, dude. What did he call it? Wait, what'd you call it? The MCN10? I think I lost. Oof. Just nailed my elbow, dude. I think I lost everybody when I was going on that. Yeah, see? I gotta stop doing that, man. I get too, like, down the rabbit holes, and then I get too negative, and I start thinking about all the reasons why I just, like, want to give up. I'm joking. MCN10 remote grip, $491.95. You know what's lame about this though? Where's this supposed to go, dude? Like, where are you gonna put this thing? Come on, where are you gonna put the look? Now I gotta walk around with a tripod. I hate tripods. Every time I see a tripod, I always think of that damn. I always think of the Robert Rodriguez quote. You guys know the Robert Rodriguez tripod quote? Did I tell you guys this already? I probably said it a million times. But he's always like, you see that tripod right there? That's a cool tripod, isn't it? Yeah. You're gonna put your camera on there, and it's just gonna sit there. There's something like that. He's so good, dude. And it's true though. I hate tripods so much. I only use them for talking heads. I hate tripods. But also, like, okay, so where would you put this? So then you'd have to put a crazy, like, cage. Well, first of all, that's not even the ZR, but I know it works with the ZR too, right? But anyways, you'd have to put a crazy cage on your camera, and then what's funny about this is the way it is. it's gonna be a grip on top of a grip. It's like wearing a hat on top of a hat. It's wearing a hat. It's wearing. Oh, have I been out of focus this whole time? It's like wearing a hat on top of a hat, dude. Bad choice, bro. Bad choice. It's a novel idea. Here, you know. Oh, but you know what? You don't really need this. They should have just put more buttons on the ZR, because that is a cool thing. The ZR does have the joystick already, so that is cool too. That is very cool. Oh yeah. What was that guy talking about earlier? I'm going to look that up real quick before we go. Oh man, a late night potato session. Yes. Hey, I have one potato on the way and another one on back order. Mindful grinds. You think the ZR is a potato? You do, bro? You really do. Oh, is my screen cut off? What happened here? What happened to my screen? You think it's a potato? I don't know, man. I like it. I like it, man. Oh, wrong way. I don't know. I really liked the camera. I don't think it's a potato. I think it's a rad camera. I don't know if it would make me switch systems though. Not yet. But I think they're trying. I think they're trying to make everybody switch systems. Maybe that's what they would hope. But the autofocus isn't quite there for me. And there are plenty of jobs where I work all by myself. And sometimes I'm lazy, guys. Sometimes I rely on that autofocus. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Blunk, turn it on. Turn it on, because I'm not going to sit here and pull focus on this hour-long talking head. You know, that's why I have it. I have it because I need it, you know? Granted, I'm sure the ZR would do great with a talking head. But what about all the B-roll I got to go shoot, you know, after the hour-long talking head, you know? Then you got to go shoot all the B-roll. And then you're like, oh, God. Sometimes you want to get lazy with that, you know? But I don't know. Sometimes I don't use the autofocus for the B-roll. It just depends. It depends what kind of B-roll it is, you know? But I'm not going to sit here and say I've never used autofocus for B-roll. Hell yeah, I use autofocus for B-roll. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think the autofocus is quite up to Sony yet. But again, I didn't have time to like map the camera. Maybe it has some amazing mapping in there, and maybe it has amazing autofocus. I don't know. I don't know if it does, but out of the box, it did not. That's all I do know, you know. It was still good, but compared to, now here's one thing I will say, the lens was nice. The way the lens handled that little 51.4, like I would pull focus on that, and it would just let me take over so seamlessly, and then I would let go of it, and it would just go right back at it most of the time. But the time it didn't do that is for these guys. When I let it go, it did not jump to my guy. Let's get to that real quick. Again, I know he was horribly backlit. That probably is why. I will admit that. It might be because he was backlit. But look, it's like it was really struggling. Look how long it takes. Look how long it takes. That's what I'm saying. That's way too long. So something a little weird about that to me. But that was the one time I noticed where like when I was trying to let it take over, you know, I just let go of it. It was struggling a little too hard. Usually when you let go of it, because you can see it's taking so long, at one point I do go for it. So look, so I go back naturally off of this, and I let go of it because I thought it would jump to him, because that's how it was working on other shots. But look, it's taking too long. So then I think at one point I grab it. Right there you can see I grab it, and maybe I even brought it back, because you can see it change. You can watch the bokeh change, so you know that I grabbed it at one point. Because, right, it's not going to him. So I'm like, fuck, it's not going to him, dude. And I was, like, getting a little nervous. I'm like, it's not going to him at all. So there you see the bokeh change back there? You can see me grabbing and I go the wrong way because I'm a fucking idiot. I suck at pulling focus, right? But, like, at least you know, like, when I took over. And I'm like, so I had to take over for that lens to work on him. I basically pulled focus on him because the lens could not figure it out. And that's a really long time, guys. Because on a Sony camera, watch, as soon as I backed up like this, a Sony camera would have already been on him. Guaranteed. And I know just out of experience of shooting this way on the Sonys all the time, it would have already caught him. No questions about it. And that is not even a crazy backlit situation. In fact, on a Sony camera, you need that much light, right? I'm just saying. So on a Sony camera, that would not even be an issue. It would have grabbed him. It recognizes that face like so quickly, especially because we can tell it's a face, right? It's not that bad under or over. He's still getting a lot of level, in terms of like phase detect. And it's probably just because the Sonys have way higher phase detect points. I'm sure that's why. But also probably a better AI, algorithm, right? Like look how long it's taking to get the face. Like, it cannot grab his face. And that's when I took over. So that's the biggest downside of, like, if you need it, if you're relying on that autofocus a lot, it's not going to be that handy. I would say a camera like that, as you can see, it's a camera where I would probably just be pulling my own focus because it takes too long, right? It wasn't going. And that's why I was like, fuck, I got to pull it now because I remember, I may even be on the BTS because I remember saying, like, dude, I wanted it for when he had the cigarette in his mouth. And by the time I decided to take over, he already took the fucking cigarette out of his mouth. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, like, it's not reliable autofocus, not in my opinion. Not in my opinion, because in my experience, you know, that FX6 would have been on him because you can still see the whites in his eyes. You can still see the whites in his eyes. You know, there's no reason for it not jumping to him. So that's kind of weird. But maybe, I don't know, maybe the autofocus was off, but it wasn't though, because it was on in for the board. Like, you can even see it on. But that was just my take on it out of the box. Okay, here he goes. Sorry. The AF was mapped to one of the slower settings out of the box. I cranked it up to max for all the surfing-ish. Oh, okay. Sold some of my Sony stuff already to help fund it. The rest is listed. I cannot find two camera systems. I cannot fund two camera systems. Probably like most folks. Fund two systems, that is not fun. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I know. I wouldn't either. That's why I was like, damn, should I sell the A7C II and figure out a way to make the ZR match the FX6? And then I go, no, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I just don't. I know I can adapt the lenses, but it's a bad idea. I've done that in the past, trying to mix systems. I did that with the FP and the Komodo, and then I did it with the A7S III and the Komodo, and I just hate it. I hate the different systems. I hate having to deal with the different systems. It just doesn't make sense for anything that I do, and yeah. So I was like, no, I'm not going to try to match the ZR with the FX6. I just can't. But I think whatever and everyone's been saying this too. Everyone's been saying this. Whatever the next generation of this is going to probably be the thing that causes a lot of people to dip. Oh, that was another thing too. I don't think I could figure out how to put the leveler on. Like, there's no leveler. I don't know what they call it. They call it like the intervalometer, but I call it the leveler because I'm an idiot, right? But there's no leveler on the screen out of the box. So that was kind of a bummer too, because I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at that. And so I was struggling you can see it here. I was like, oh God. Maybe we did find it at some point, but I don't ever remember using it. But yeah, look, the image quality is what got me. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's so good, dude. And the dynamic range, it's wonderful. And yeah, seeing that rolling shutter, I mean, that's good. It's almost as good as the FX6, right? It's only like 3 milliseconds behind or something crazy. Or maybe is the FX6 also 9? You guys will have to look that up. But yeah, oh, I loved it. I love the camera. I love the handling of it. I love the screen. Yeah, I really do. If the autofocus, he said the autofocus got better. He cranked it up. But this shot is too gnarly to share. But I mean, they're like, I didn't have all the clips. I'm so sad. But this one's wild. So you can see here, this is another example where it really struggled, right? And look how, now maybe it's just because, look, maybe it's like too hot. And again, I was changing ISOs on purpose, guys. So bear with me here. But again, like, it's not gone. Like, nothing is gone. These are gone. These are gone, but not anything else. You know, like, our shadows are still super good. So yeah, it's not like, you know what I mean? Well, a lot of that is my fault. I wasn't even trying to be like ninja, you know, like, you can feel the steps. You can feel the steps on that really bad. So I'm not going to judge the autofocus on that because that's partly my fault. I should have just posted up. I don't know why I was trying to, like, maybe I actually thought the active stay would actually be good there, but that was a horrible idea. I wish I would have just posted up and let them walk through me, and then we could have really known what that, but look how quick it did. It was trying to hold on to them even with my crazy footsteps, and then boom. It doesn't take long, but look, it hunts a little bit. But again, he said it was set slow, so. But again, like, to complain about autofocus with a camera that is supposed to be a cinema camera, I know that's childish, you know? But again, it is cool that you have it, especially if you can map it to be quicker. I don't know, man. It was a very impressive camera to use. Anything else you guys got? Oh, yeah, he wanted me to look up that DJI thing. When you shoot R3D, it gives you a little baby MP4 file. Yeah, like a little mini proxy. 1600, right? No, it's like 2200. The camera is like 2200 or something. I think. I think the camera is like 2200 bucks. Or were you making a joke about going to Japan? Let's see what it's going for right now. 2200. But 1600 in Japan. Yeah. It looks tiny. It looks tiny on here, don't it, guys? But when you hold it, you're like, wow, dude. And the screen is so good, too. The screen is nice. The screen is very nice. And the grip is actually nice. My pinky still fell underneath, though. My pinky still fell under the camera, so you'd probably have to get get something like I have on the A7C II, where it's like a little Arca Swiss kind of riser plate. It's great. It just lives on the A7C II, unless I shoot street with it, which isn't often, but I'll take it off of there if I do. But yeah, that's all you would need on this camera. So then your pinky doesn't hang down the whole time. Other than that, though, mindful. Oh, that's ProRes LT is apparently coming in a firmware update, according to Nikon Japan's website, which Nikon Rumors found. Oh, ProRes LT. Oh, that will be cool. But I don't think I would shoot in that very often. You know, I used to work on these jobs out in the Palm Desert or something. This is back in the Black Magic days. And they would be like, no, you only use LT to stream. And then we even got in trouble for that. The guy was like, don't stream in LT anymore. So like we started streaming in whatever the next one is up. Whatever's in between LT and the next one. There's something in the middle, isn't there? That's what we used to use for streaming. So and I'll never forget that. So I've never really messed with LT very much. I've always thought of it as like a proxy, honestly. But I think for YouTube videos, it'd be fine, maybe. Nikon class expensive ASF. The glass is expensive. AM to music. Not much, you know, I just showed some clips and kind of went on a few rants I don't feel good about, honestly. You didn't miss anything, bro. I'm going to have the whole review video come out for sure. I definitely will. And then you'll be able to see the footage and you'll get my review of it, and you'll get like a cool little walk and talk interview that, you know, Blake and I did. And it was cool, man. It was a cool little couple hours with the camera. I have some really nice things to say about it. And then I have some kind of honest things to say about it. And I kind of already did with some of the things, but I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be more nice about it, I guess. You know, the live streams, I got to work on that. This is the reason why I fought myself so long not to do live streams, because I knew this was going to happen, right? Like I knew people would see me how I am, and that's not always a good thing, you know, because because I do live kind of in like, you know, the negative side of the world. And I hate that I do that, but it is just kind of my character of things where like, I always like, you know, I'll kind of like harp on the negative stuff, and I'm trying to get better at that. You know, I really am. But that was my hesitancy to do the live streams for a long time, because I'm like, oh dude, people are going to see like I talk shit all the time. But, and like, I know we've been doing the live streams for a while now, but I think it is starting to kind of bother me a little bit, where I'm like, you know, I got to chill it out a little bit. I want to like, sometimes I go a little too ranty, you know, that's all I'm trying to say. So I'll work on that, you know. So yeah, that's why I say you probably didn't miss much, bro. I was getting a little ranty about some unnecessary things. Honestly, dude. Just ProRes. No, this is R3D. You can see it says red. This is R3D. This is R3D red. Definitely 100%. Definitely not ProRes. So far the thing I believe I dislike the most is the scroll wheel that controls shutter. Yeah, it's heinous, dude. Heinous. That will be annoying that you cannot map that wheel to ISO. You can't? You have to. Acid only wrist. I thought he said he changed that's horrible. If they don't change that, that's horrible. I think you can map it though. Oh yeah, HQ is above LT, huh? I thought there was something in between. Then need to add like the HQ, MQ, LQ to R3D. That would be straight fire. Yeah, that's what I say too. It would be nice if they added the different variants. That would be way better than these ProRes updates. Like you guys saying there's some ProRes update. Who cares about that? Nobody who wants ProRes LT. That's just me though. Like I would much rather want an update of like different qualities of R3D. That's the update it needs. But I don't know if they can do that in an update, but surely they can. All you're doing is changing the compression ratios, but I think that's a hardware thing, man. I don't know, but if they can do it with ProRes, isn't that And apparently it's a software thing, so what the fuck do I know? But I think that would be a way cooler update to be like, yo, dude, shouldn't we get like MQ RAW before we get ProRes LT? I don't know, but again, that's the broadcast world I come from. Like nobody really messes with LT really too much. I guess I should ask, do you think most of your gripes are firmware based or a mix? That might clear up a lot. Firmware updates? Maybe. I mean, I guess is autofocus a firmware update? Nah, like, because I feel like it comes down to the number of phase detection points, right? So like, if you look at the number of phase detection points, I'm just gonna have to like Google it. How many phase detect? Sorry guys, my keyboard is way over here because of the stupid microphone. How many phase detection points Nikon ZR? Let's see what it says. Up to 299 phase detection in photo mode and 253 in video mode. But I don't know. Let's see. Who's Tom Hogan? See, like, I don't know if I trust this because a lot of times I've done this and I've read things that I know are not right. And I'm like, dude, this AI thing sucks, dude. But so I don't know. I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. This says 253 phase detection points for video versus like, you know, then we can do this. We'll put this in, but then we'll change it to like, I don't know. Let's see what the Sony FX6 has. I don't even know if this is going to be right, though. See, 627. Dude, and the FX6 isn't even as good as my A7C II, which is, again, the same sensor as the FX2 and the A7 IV, right? And the FX6 has double what the ZR has, over double, right? Because in video mode, it only has 253. That's why it wasn't locking onto that guy, right? That explains it right there. Like, because this is 627. Bro. That's over double what the ZR has. And that's the FX6. That's the old autofocus. That FX6 is old. They haven't updated the firmware on this thing in ages. My A7C II is even faster. Let's see. Let's see if that's true. Because it feels like it's faster. It literally, that A7C II autofocus is insane compared to the FX6. Right? I know I typed in the same thing. I'm going to change it right now. Let's see what the A7C II is. Are they the same? More. I knew it was faster, bro. I knew it was fast. Yeah, that thing's insanely fast. Again, that's the same sensor as the FX2 and A7 IV, A7C2, all same sensors, same stuff. Yeah, it's super fast, dude. It's so much faster than the FX6. It's scary fast. I'm not using it right now, though. I have vintage glass on here because I think it makes the live streams cooler. No, I like the way it looks. So I use my old M mount 28mm. So no autofocus for this stream. Sometimes I'll use the autofocus lens, but it doesn't look good. They're way too sharp. The Sony lenses are too sharp. But I'm just saying, when I'm doing my documentary stuff, yeah, dude, I use the 28-135 all the time. I mean, I've had that lens longer than that camera. So that's the only reason why we're talking about autofocus. But I feel like you can't change the amount of phase detection points in a firmware update. Like, I don't think that's a thing you can do. Like, that is definitely a hardware sensor thing, right? Like, they have to map it that way. I don't know how they do it. I'm not a fucking engineer, right? But I'm pretty sure that these phase detection points can never be added in a firmware update. Right? So like, you're stuck with that. So if you're thinking that you're gonna be able to use this thing like crazy, you're not, right? Because again, we can review the footage again, right? And we should count. We should count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Miss. No, I counted too early. Let's let it at least get to his face. Here we go. And 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10, and then I took over. 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, it could not latch onto this guy's face. In 10 seconds, give or take, it could not latch onto this guy's face. Because in 10 seconds, I took over. That's why the bokeh changed. 10 seconds, it could not do it. So that's why I know, like, too long. And I think I even said that on street to Blake. I'm like, it's taking too long. And I grabbed it because that's way too long. 10 seconds is way too long, right? Certainly for a guy like me, who all I know is these crazy Sony cameras, right? So but again, not everybody needs that. Not everybody needs autofocus, right? So, but not everybody needs it, but everybody that has it gonna use it. You know what time it is. That's so true, though. Think about it, right? Not everybody needs it, but everybody that has it is going to use it, right? You just do. You will find ways to use it. You will use it, and depending on the job that you do. Look, there was a thing I did where it was like a sketch show. There's an NDA, so I can't talk about it, right? It's an NDA. I'm not, but what I will say about it is we started that show. We started that show with autofocus Sony lenses, 3-camera setup. But there were little things that we were doing, little sketches that we were doing, where then I had specific, my old manual lenses that I would put on the camera. And then I would just pull the focus myself. And, you know, so there's time and a place for both, right? I find it in my own work all the time, right? So, for instance, my little short film, the Deadline movie that just came out. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. Right. And yes, it's not for children. Someone complained about the cussing. It literally says dark drama in the title. In my head, my first thought was, do you always sit down and watch dark dramas with your children? Because that's kind of weird. Like, is everybody at home with their children watching Dahmer or Ed Gein? Like, what? Like, are you really watching it? Welcome to Derry with your children, right? You know what I mean? I'm not saying my movie was that. It's not a horror. But it's still a dark drama. Okay, so Drive. Drive is also listed as a dark drama. That would be more fair. But still, I don't think you're gonna sit down with your children and watch a dude kill people with a hammer, right? Like, so I'm like, come on, dude. Like, obviously, if it says dark drama, you know that you probably shouldn't be watching that with your children. I don't even have fucking kids, and I know that. You know what I mean? So, anyways, quick rant there. I just said I wasn't gonna rant anymore. See, it's impossible for me. I can't. You know, I think that's why the one guy that one time asked if I was Italian. It's impossible for me not to fucking bust balls. It really is. It's impossible, and that's for the longest time why I didn't want to do a live stream. Because I'm like, dude, I cannot like go 10 minutes without busting balls. Like, it's just the way I am. It's just the way I am. I don't like to be like that all the time, you know, in reality, in person, I keep it a little bit more jovial, right? It's not like I'm walking around telling everybody to fuck off, right? But, you know, I'm still like a very like busting balls kind of dude. But I think that's like, maybe that's like a generational thing, because most of the guys I work with, they're the same way. Some guys I work with bust balls more than I do, right? So, and it's like, it's weird to me that the camera people that I work with are way non-sensitive, but then the camera people online are way more sensitive than the camera people I work with. So I don't know what that's all about, but you know, I get it. I get it. Everyone has their own online persona, but I am going to try to work on it, right? We are going to try to get better about that. Let's see. We'll get caught up here and then we should probably go. It's getting long now. I should ask, do you think most, yeah. So no, I don't think most of them are firmware updates. You can only map shutter and aperture to those stupid dials. See, that's a bad idea, guys. That's the only risk. He's the guy that let me use the camera for 2 hours in LA. Okay, he's basically telling you that, look, the shutter wheel on the back of the camera, it's like, dude, that's not cool, man. Like, you should be able to change that to something that it doesn't, because I was bumping the shutter all night long for the 2 hours, not all night long, for the 2 hours that I was shooting with the camera. I was always constantly accidentally changing the shutter without realizing it, because the dial is right where my thumb goes. Bad idea. So you're either going to be always changing your shutter, or you're always going to be changing your ISO. This is why I say, if it literally has a mode to go from stills to cine, the whole camera should change. That was the beauty of the FP. It really was. And, okay, that's all I'll say about it. Coming from a Nikon user, the VR IBIS needs to be in sport mode unless your subject is static. Sport is exciting to follow a subject drive a moving camera. Normal, expect static jitter vibrations. Interesting. So yeah, all of this was all handheld, because I did the rant about throw the gimbal away earlier. But yeah, I thought it was nice. Don't get me wrong. I was really blown away by the IBIS. Now here's another instance. We couldn't focus on these animals. It was really jumping around here. I was purposely not pulling focus on this one because I think I even say in the BTS, again, it'll be in the full review, but I think I even said that to Blake, like, it's not jumping to the dogs. But again, I understand. You probably have to change it to animals or whatever the fuck. But still, it's a moving subject. You see, this is the difference between Sony and like the other guys. Like, even though that, yeah, they all have the option to change it to animals, but Sony would recognize that the subjects are moving, right? They would recognize that, hey, that's probably what we should be focusing on. Right, and there it did. For some reason, it jumped for a minute, and I think it's because of the quick movement the dog in the front makes. Watch, he makes a quick movement. Oh, but you know what? It's on the guy in the back. Okay, I'll take that. It's on the guy in the back. I just realized that. Okay, here we go. West. Here we go. one caller here.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. Oh, but you know what? It sounds like
Do me a favor, mute your viewing device.
Okay, I lowered it.
Yeah, let's turn that off. Who we got on here? What's going down?
It's F Monster.
Oh yeah.
I just think concerning the Nikon ZR, would you consider like the best camera you can get at the price point?
Oh, at the price point, 100%. Yes, exactly. 100% correct. If you are just now entering the camera, cinema universe, I think that's, look, if they had this back when I bought the Pocket 4K, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like this is it. You know what I mean? This it really is for the price point, 100%. Because just look at what the A7C II costs. And that's not even being touted as a cinema camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually, I previously had the Red Epic Dragon 6K.
Oh, you know what's up there.
Yeah, I sold that because I was filming a lot of like TikTokers, and it was like inconvenient just to carry around like the DCM1 model.
For TikTok, you were filming on the Red?
Comes out, we'll have
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I had.
That's an epic TikTok, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, look, are you still on the Red system now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, dude, this would be a no-brainer for me. If I was already in the Red system, this would be one of my B or C cams, 100%. Yeah. I don't have any qualms with it. I really don't. I mean, in terms of that, in terms of what we're talking about, what I know your setup right now, it's like, oh yeah, dude, I think this would be killer to add to your kit. You already have it. You're already in the ecosystem, you know?
But like the whole, just concerning Nikon, like their glasses are expensive, like way more than some. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean that is. I mean, well, look, let's see. What is the price of the? Anyways, I might let you go and then look this up, but stay on. So, but what? Anything else you want to add before I let you go here? Because I just want to compare the price.
Time, man. Good shit with all the concert and the movie. I'm definitely checking it out.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please do. It's called Deadline. You'll see it. It's the top of the videos. It's the most recent one. And yeah, check it out. Check out the film. Don't watch it with your kids, though. So I'm looking up these lenses right now. What's that?
You can get like some used G Master lenses, dirt cheap.
That's true. Yeah, okay, fine. If you're buying them used, that is true. Yeah, because you're gonna find Nikon lenses all day long. But here's the beauty of, or I'm sorry, Sony lenses all day long. And the beauty about Sony lenses is that the resale is quick. Like if you want to make a quick sale, just put anything Sony on for sale and it'll sell. Like that is a nice thing about a Sony anything. Like it sells fast.
And there's not like a lot of used Nikon lenses on eBay.
There's not. I didn't know that. But I mean, look, like here's the reality of it. It like because someone like me, now this might be different from the work you do, but I don't know. But like the work I do where I use that 28 to 135 on my FX6 all the time. And we know that Nikon has their own version of that. The price difference isn't that crazy. Actually, the Nikon is cheaper. The Nikon right now anyways is like $400 cheaper. So
I don't get over like $1,000.
Oh yeah, so you would be going the used market. Yeah, so I guess as a testament, like people that are into Nikon, they keep their lenses then. I mean, if there's not a lot of them out there, I've never really searched. Never really checked it out like that. But I mean, here's the thing though. You could go the adapter route. I mean, you could put what are the new ones called? They're Nikon Z or what are they? The lenses. Nikon Z? I don't think that's what they're called.
I think it's called like the Z series or something like that.
I mean, I don't know.
But, like, able to get autofocus, right? If I use like third-party lenses.
Yeah, I think if you want the best autofocus, certainly out of that camera, because it's not that great, you would definitely want to use the Nikon lenses. Definitely. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, brother. I think I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't care if you buy one or not, but if I was in a Red ecosystem, I would say, yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Now, if you're like wanting to take advantage of that autofocus, then yeah, I mean, you would definitely have to get like at least 1 or 2 of the Nikon lenses for it to make sense for that aspect of it, obviously. But then you're into a whole new ecosystem. I mean, that's what it is too. That's the real question about it. Is it worth it? Like, yeah, $2,000 ain't shit for a camera like this, but is it worth it to invest in a whole new ecosystem? That's what I don't know. That's what I don't know. For me,
appreciate you, man.
all right, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. I lost him there. Lost him there at the end. But yeah, I mean that's a valid point. I mean, he's rocking reds. He's already in there, you know. Makes total sense for a guy like that. But he does bring up a good point. Is it worth it to have invest in the glass too? Because you would want to do that. I mean, obviously that's why you do it, to take advantage of the features that you don't get on a red. So yeah, you would most definitely have to take it, you know, dive in to get some Nikon glass. Yeah, and then now you're down the rabbit hole. Now you're down the rabbit hole. That's why I say a guy like me, I would start out going, yeah, it's cool, man. I'll just swap my A7C II for the ZR. I can make a match. You can make any camera match. Blake uses film convert. He uses the matches cameras all the time. Right? Okay, yeah, fine. We can. Then you got the FX6, and then you got a ZR, and then you're like, oh god. And then eventually you're gonna hit a point where you're like, eventually you're gonna be forced to choose, right? That's what it's gonna boil down to, because that's what happened with me with trying to match Sony with red. Eventually I had to choose. And oh my God, look what I chose. No, I chose the FX6 over the Komodo. Dude, that is insane, right? The old me would be so mad. Like, dude, you're lame. But it don't matter. It's like, dude, you just get the thing that makes your life easier. I know it doesn't have the best image, well, not compared to red, but it makes my life easier. That matters for me, man. I'm old man, dude. I need my life to be easy. But now that they dangle this little carrot in front of your face, and you're like, oh, dude, it's cool. But again, it's just not cool. It doesn't have the convenience that the FX6 has. For you guys all know the reasons why, right? And I would never sell the FX6 to only have this. It would have to be a situation that I said I would have to I'd have to swap out rather. I'd swap out the A7C II for the Nikon ZR, because I'm a guy, and most people say, no, man, keep the A7C II, just use the Nikon ZR as well. No. I don't do that in here. Those days are long gone, right? I'm not going to have 3 cameras where one of them is a redheaded stepchild, right? Like, that's not going to make sense, right? Like, if you're going to invest in that many cameras, you need one to make sure that you're doing those kinds of jobs for it to make sense even. But then also, like, you know, it's like, it's crazy to show up with 3 different cameras. It looks bad. It's not cool. And when I say cool, I think people take it the wrong way. Right? Like, when I say cool, I think people think that I'm like, oh, he doesn't think he looks cool, that all of his cameras. No, that's not what I mean by cool. What I mean is, like, it ain't kosher, bro. Like, it ain't gonna be easy wheeling for you. You know, like, I don't know how it's like. I wish there was a way to explain it. It's like, I'm sure you guys have great examples of this. Just think of anything where, like, you need all things to match, but then you have one oddball out. It's like, this sucks. You know, you're like, and I get it. Well, I don't know. Like, what if you're like someone, okay, here's a really bad analogy. What if you're really big into outfits? Like, you care about your wardrobe, right? And you're like, okay, you have like, you're only allowed to have 3 hats, right? I'm a hat guy. You guys know I wear hats all the time. You're only allowed to have 3 hats. Marianne would be so stoked if all I had was 3 hats. She would be so excited. I have too many hats. I have hats upon hats. They're in storage. They're everywhere, right? But what I mean is, like, what if you could only have 3, right? And 2 of them are so, like, they go with everything. And then you got the one weird hat that you love. You love that 3rd hat. You love it. It's badass. You know, when you have it on, it looks cool. But it doesn't go with your shit that you wear. Like, it's so oddball. And I know that's a bad analogy, because I feel like hats go with anything. But, like, if you're like that kind of person that's like obsessed with wardrobe, you understand what I'm saying? It almost makes sense. I wish I had a better analogy, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, the 3rd oddball out, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, it looks on its own, it's so cool. On its own, it's so cool. But it wouldn't make sense to start mixing and matching it with like Sony cameras and all this other bullshit. And plus, too, it just wouldn't make sense for a guy like me. It doesn't make sense for me to have 3 cameras. That's insane. I mean, technically, I already have 3 cameras. I mean, technically, here's the sad part. Technically, I already have like 6 cameras. I mean, let's count them all, right? If you start counting all the cameras, way too many cameras. But they all are like their own separate job, right? Like this thing up here, it only shoots film. That's the M3 back there. I mean, I just bought this crazy 120 camera for 15 bucks at a thrift store, right? So that's what I mean. Like I have cameras all over. We got the DJI, we got the GoPros, we got the pocket camera Sony on top of the 2 other Sonys. We like we already have a lot of cameras, right? But they're all very niche. They all have like their own position in like they all have their slot in the toolbox. Whereas this ZR would be too much of a competitor to the A7C II for how my brain works, right? So I'd be like, oh, I don't want 2 tools that are pretty much the same. And then so obviously I'd go, well, I want the better one in terms of image. So if I was only picking it for image, then I would say, okay, I'm going to swap the A7C II for the Nikon ZR, knowing damn well that I would lose autofocus, like a huge drop in autofocus, right? We know that right off the bat. I'd have to invest in all different lenses. It would have its own lenses. I wouldn't be able to swap those lenses with the FX6. You guys know the rabbit hole you go down, right? So it's just like, this is one of those things. So no, it's not cool enough to that level. But I think, like what everyone else is saying, I think whatever comes out after this, it might be so damn tantalizing where you go, okay, is it also still going to make sense to make the leap, right? Because for me, a guy like me, it has to make sense to make the leap, right? And even talking to our friend there that just called in who already owns a Red, first I was like, yeah, great, Red with Red. But then when he starts talking about he wants to take advantage of the autofocus, then it's like, oh yeah, that's going to fucking suck though. You got to buy all these Nikon lenses and you can't put the Now, if he had a newer Red, he could swap to the Nikon lenses and he could swap the lenses out. But he had like an old, what did he say, Monstro or so? I can't remember what he said, but I don't think it was a new one. Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I don't think it was a new Red with the Nikon Z mount, right? Now granted, some of those older Reds were cool and you could just buy the adapters for them. But nowadays it might be hard for you to find those online, but maybe not. I don't know what the hell. But I mean, in the olden days, the Reds were cool like that. You could literally just put any mount you want on them. I'm sure they made a Z mount, probably, maybe, I don't know. The downside with swapping the mounts like that is like, dude, you got to be able to play you got to be able to make sure and have a way to check your infinity focus and things like that. And then you got to use shims and it's like, oh no, dude, do I want to, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. This is what I mean. It's like, yeah, maybe it's not worth it. Like if you're not in there like that, but anyways, it was rad that we had someone call in tonight. That was nice. The colors are gorgeous. Yeah, dude, like dude, the image is insane to me. Like I really do. Now I know I put noise on this one and I have LensNode on this. Man, I was supposed to show you guys LensNode and I got so thrown off tonight. See the Cook S4s. I'm going to do a full, okay. I think LensNode are annoyed with me too, so I apologize if they watch this. But yeah, I get it. They've sent me the software for a long time, and I've been featuring the hell out of them in like my past 4 videos, but I haven't done like an actual like demo of it. Although that's not true. Let's say this. I haven't done a dedicated video on LensNode yet, and I will. I owe that to them. I told them I would do that. And so I will do it. Right? See, that's one of the advantages of not signing contract. but it is a bummer because then I kind of make them feel bad. But I have featured them 4 times, right? They've been featured in 4 of the videos. I mean, technically they're featured right now because look at it, right? So let me turn off the noise. He calls it noise. It's the film grain. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna have to go soon. My hand is locking up. I got the arthritis. So this is with no grain on. I turned the grain off. Look at that. Clean, sister, soul. Now, let me show you the LensNode. So right now, LensNode is engaged with the Cook S4s. Look at that. So that's what it looked like. That's what the Nikon Nikkor 50mm 1.4 looks like on its own. And now I'm going to turn on the LensNode. Yeah, it's so rad, dude. I love it. I love it. You can see the natural blur there, certainly on the edges. I like the distortion that makes it pop out. I'm almost done. And then, yeah, I love the color. It even kind of adjusts the color a little bit. Yeah, so there it is off and there it is on. And I know I waited till the end for that, so I apologize. But this is the Cook S4. Look, you can map it. So you might have to be watching this on a large screen to blow this up. But over here, you can input the color space. So I have log 3 G10 red, white gamut. That's why, the LUT is after everything. So yeah, it's log 3 G10 and then manufacturer's Cook. And I chose the S4. I mean, you can quickly see the difference between the S4 and the Pancro I Classic. The I Classic is a little too nuts, right? That's the Pancro I Classic. I don't know, maybe you like that. It really blooms it out though. But I went back to S4. But keep in mind, this is the 14mm T2. So now it adjusted. I kind of keep it around the 32mm. Look at that. The 32mm is pretty rad. And then notice when you like jump to like 75, it literally like changes the distortion properly. It's really good. Yeah, I'll do a full demo on this. I have to do a dedicated video on this. So if they happen to see this, but I doubt they will. But I did put in the title featuring LensNode, and so I'm sorry I waited till the very end to talk about it. I just get sidetracked, and I'll work on it, guys. Look, I'll work on it. I'll make bullet points next time. And look, next time, Howard, I'll fight better. Okay? But this is how it's going. But yeah, I absolutely love this. And you can go in here and change everything. The sensor size. You have individual controls over everything, like the distortion, the coma, the aberration, the fringe, the bokeh blur. I mean, you can adjust all this stuff, even the bloom. I bet you on the bloom, you could really see the difference with these crazy pancros. Let me turn it back on something wide, the 32. Yeah, so see the bloom on the pancros? Wow, it's gnarly. Look at that. So that's with it on, off, on. Wowzers. A lot of blooms. Then you could go in here and you can kind of like pull some of that back. You know, you have complete control of it. It's a really rad program. Again, if you're interested in that stuff, give them a try. justinfilm.com/connect. All my links are over there. justinfilm.com/connect. I hate that it sounds pitchy like that, but you know, that's just if you want ways to support the show and still like try out stuff, it's always justinfilm.com/connect. Easiest way to do it, guys. But the biggest help is just watching these streams, man, and being subscribed to the channel and hitting the like, but you know, all the stuff, helping me out. It's always much appreciated. He said, I'm pretty impressed with the low light. Pops those lights, those little lights a lot. Oh yeah, 100%. It's so good. The performance, oops, let me get that off of there. The performance is, yeah, I absolutely love it, man. It's so wild. Now this is gonna, here's the thing, LensNode is gonna be very hard on your system. Look at this lagging, like it's pretty hard. But again, I have the original M1, so I think Davinci Resolve is already screwing me on that. Like, I don't think the newest Resolve is made for the old M1 chip because I have the hardest time. I absolutely love this clip though. And this is nice too with all the reflections, the highlights, everything. And I don't think we have LensNode on in this one, do we? No LensNode with this, just the LUT. Yeah, so there's all, you know, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna cut it there. Let's see. I agree with the ease point. That's why Lumix is #1 for me. LOL. It is like wearing a Nike shirt with Adidas. 100%. Thank you. There's a wardrobe guy. Something I would never do. You're exactly correct. Marianne bought me this cool Adidas shirt, and I don't ever really get to wear it because I'm a New Balance guy. I wear New Balances or Vans or something. Like I have one pair of Nike SBs, but yeah, I have all the New Balance SB. The New Balance numeric. So I don't wear the dad ones. I wear the skate dad ones. But yeah, in the Adidas, I can't do it. I can't go outside the house with Adidas shirt, wearing New Balance shoes. And that's the same thing. Like, I know it's not the same thing, but it is the closest analogy for someone like me to make between like, I'm going to go on this job with a Red and a Sony camera. It's much worse than wearing an Adidas shirt with Nike shoe or whatever shoes, right? It's a lot worse than that, actually. It's going to be a lot worse for you. It's going to be a lot bigger pain in the ass because it's going to be a literal pain in the ass. Whereas if you wear a shirt with a different kind of shoes, it's like, it's not really a pain in the ass. It just is kind of like, this sucks, right? So that's why I say it wasn't the best analogy, but that's the reason why I stopped mixing camera systems. Too much of a pain in the ass. I got to walk around with all my ND filters in a matte box for the ZR. Justin is going to get a ZR and be missing his intro NDs. No, then that's another reason why I said it's not enough to do that because it's not making my life easier. No, never. As of now. Now, and that's why I say, what about the next generation of this though? Because what if they do decide to make something badass where now, because they have to do it. They have to make their FX6 competitor. They have to. They just will. I think they will because they're in a position to do that now. Right? They already have the video game on lock. And now that they've adopted Red, it's like, okay, yeah, I think maybe they're going to do something crazy. They have to do that to compete with the juggernauts being Canon and Sony. Canon and Sony have those very convenient cameras, right? Canon with the C line and Sony with their, their higher FX line. Like Nikon needs that ball in the court if they truly want to dominate. And they could, could you imagine having something like the FX6 or like a C500, like, but with Red? Like, okay, and please, if they could figure out to put those, proper exposure tools in there, like make it a real Red, like that would, you're talking about, it would be mass hysteria. You know what I mean? Like, I really do believe that because, now again, we know that probably the autofocus is going to take a hit, but I don't know. What if they advance that too? But right now, the autofocus is nowhere near what a Sony is. But again, I know a lot of people won't care about that. But if you're going to go into that realm of making a super convenient camera with internal NDs and audio, you got to have an autofocus that can keep up with the rest. And right now, the ZR is not showing that. Not in my opinion. You heard it here first, guys. Anyways, I guess we're going to do it. We've been going on for 2 hours now. My mouth is gone. I got the arthritis and my fingers coming in. Okay, real quick. Oh yeah, see, he said it too. Dead Ringer video says my M1 is trash and the new Resolve also. I knew it. I knew it wasn't me, man. I knew it was the damn M1 chip. I wish they would just put that in the announcements, like tweet out, like let people know, like, look, if you have an old M1, please don't update. And I just wouldn't update. It wouldn't be a problem. But of course, you know, I update. You know, the guys on my Patreon always yell, they laugh at me too, because they're like, I told you to stop updating it. But okay, at least I learned to stop updating it when it's still in beta. I don't do that anymore, right? But when it's done being in beta, I do update it. But we shouldn't, and maybe it's my fault. I don't read the fine print. Maybe it does say in there, like, look, you shouldn't, it's not compatible with M1. But maybe they're trying to pass it off like it is, but it really isn't, right? But maybe they did tell people not to do it, and I'm just an idiot. What are the top 3 things you like about this camera? And then we'll go. Okay, I'm killing the chat to make sure I don't bounce in there anymore. The top 3 things we like about the camera, look, the image quality, hands down. Hands down, the image quality, no doubt about it. I mean, come on, man. You saw me bring it back, like, I don't know, it said 5 stops, but I don't think it was actually 5 stops, but it definitely was at least 3. Brought it back 3 stops over, no problem. It handled that overexposure so well. So that to me tells me the dynamic range is good. So image quality, dynamic range, and then under that, I'm gonna say that it is that rolling shutter performance. That rolling shutter performance is so damn good. Again, if you just getting in here, you'd have to go back and watch my real life experience of realizing how good it was before Blake dropped in the chat what it is, because just by watching this dice rolling, wait till they're in focus. Yeah, anyways, yeah, that's it, man, right there, dude. To me, that's the top 3 best things as a Sony user. Those are things that trump there. It's so don't, yeah, again, you'll have to go watch that rant. Just rewind the video. But yeah, those, being a Sony guy, those are the only things that trump the FX6 in my experience of using both. You know, autofocus is not nearly as good, and it will never be, because it doesn't have enough. It doesn't have it. It has less than half the friggin' points. Like, it's not ever going to be as good. It literally needs to be a whole new design, right? You're not going to get that in a firmware update. You know, getting all of a sudden now you have double phase detection points. Not going to happen in a firmware update. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so, right? But as a Sony guy, it would just be that the image, the dynamic range, and that rolling shutter. But also, guys, I think the FX6 is faster, isn't it? Like by like 2 milliseconds. So, but again, speaking as a fair comparison as an FX user guy, yeah, the rolling shutter is impressive for what the camera is and what it costs. Okay, anyways, we're going to cut it there. Thank you all so much. Thank you for hanging in there even when I went down spiral a little bit. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.